I still kept it 100. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. They ain't covering my cloth, they tugging. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Yeah, who don't play, 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 who don't play.
Music licensing reimagined.
Play, who don't play, 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 who don't play, 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 who don't. Long time coming, black on the bottom of my feet from running. Cataracts under my eyes from hustling. Going from buying and selling to customers. Run up the business, God is my witness. Sun up the sun, up from Monday to Sunday. We maxing our limits. My mind running like Tom Cruise on an action movie. Moving a mission, they say that I'm tripping. I've been told I need a vacation. I'm finessing a visit.
Oh, what is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers, and welcome to Stat Diggers for UFC Vegas 119. We have Manel Kopp going against Kyoji Horiguchi. We are back in the Meta Apex for an Apex card. We got a 12-fight card, and yeah, it's kind of tough, Weezy, to be honest, going from a phenomenal card like UFC Freedom 250 to this. Not saying it's a bad card, but it's definitely a step down from Freedom 250. But I'm always looking forward to breaking down the fights here on a Monday night. I'm here with my Uncle Weezy. Uncle Weezy, what is up? Are you looking forward to UFC Vegas 119?
Going from the White House to the Apex. It's just one of those things. Like if you've ever been at a place where you were doing public speaking and then you have to follow somebody that just knocks it out of the park, it's a rough. This card is one of those cards that everybody's going to shit on it right off the bat. And the reality is that it's probably going to be a pretty action-packed card with a lot of fun fights. But the name value, the name value isn't even close to where we were at last week. The card that we got to see last night was phenomenal. Just visually, the level of the fights that we got to see, all finishes was amazing. So, it's a fight card. It's a fight card, and next week's card in Azerbaijan looks like it's going to be a banger. So hopefully these fighters kind of bring it and make this card into a really action-packed card that's fun to watch.
Yeah, next week looks incredible. Like next week's going to be a lot of fun. This week, I don't know, but we'll definitely see. So I just got off of doing me and Clint went like 2.5 hours or more. So I'm exhausted. We had a long night last night, Weezy. I made a mistake. I was like, hey, I'm gonna do a pre-show, right? I start the pre-show at 6 Eastern time, and then they push the card back an hour. So I do a 3-hour pre-show. A 3-hour pre-show. The fights start, and then we're live for the entire fight. So it was a long night, Sunday night. Went to bed at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and then my son proceeds to wake up at 6:30 in the morning. It's like, you got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. So it's been a rough day, been a very rough day, but I did the smart thing, though. I actually taped these fights last week. I did my prediction video early because I figured if I don't do it now, when am I going to find the time and energy to get this out of there? So I recorded my prediction video. I got it out already, which is great. And a couple spots sticking out, so we'll talk about it. Before we get into it, if you guys could do us a huge favor, smash the like button for us, subscribe to the channel. Me and Weezy go live every Monday. We also go live for the Fight Companion every single Saturday, whether it's rain, shine, whether it's in Perth, whether it's in Macau, whether it's in Azerbaijan. We've been going live every Saturday. Have been having a really good turnout this year. I'm doing a shout out to sponsors of the show. Shout out to Big Steve, the Big Brain MMA Discord. Check out Steve's links. They'll be in the description if you want to join a Discord with a ton of sharp people giving out bets for not only MMA, other sports, other MMA promotions. Go check out the Big Brain MMA Discord and go check out his YouTube channel where he goes on, gives an early looks, gives a late look and stuff like that. Go support Big Steve because he's supporting the Stat Diggers crew. And also go check out Underdog Fantasy. Right now, if you go to Underdog and use code DFSBTN, you'll get $50 free when you play with your first $5 lineup. We got like 2 signups last month. I was getting concerned. It's like, does anybody have friends? Does anybody have family? But this month, we're already at like 7 or 8 signups. So appreciate you guys for that. That is absolutely the best way to support the show, to support the Fight Companion. So we do appreciate that quite a bit. Before we get into the recap, if you guys want to vote on who needs to get help, there weren't a ton of options, Weezy. There were 7 fights, so we didn't have a ton of options. I mean, I could have threw Michael Chandler out there, but he's 40. It's like, who cares? I could have threw Derek Lewis out there, but he's 41. Who cares?
Yeah.
So for me, it was pretty much between two people, and that's Ilia Topuria or Alex Pereira. So I also put Ilia Top Toro on there, and then I put El Matador on there as well. So those are who you can vote for who potentially needs help.
What about Optoro?
is that what they call it?
I think Optoro needs help too, man.
Optoro? I think so too. So what we'll do is let's do a quick recap, Weezy. We'll kind of go fight by fight. We had 7 fights. We'll go fight by fight, talk about our action from last night. We kicked it off with Diego Lopez, Steve Garcia. And I like Diego Lopez. My analysis on the fight was I think it's going to be a dick swinging contest. It necessarily wasn't for the first 7.5 minutes. But in the second round, Steve Garcia landed a big shot that rocked Lopez. And at that moment, you could see that Lopez said, F it, I'm going to come forward. I'm going to swing my dick. And my analysis was kind of like, if these guys go dick for dick, I think Diego Lopez has the bigger dick out of the two. And he's more durable. And that's exactly what happened. They started standing and banging until one man fell. And the guy that fell was the same guy that got dropped by Charlie Ontiveros 50 times. So got the fight won't start round 3 there. But I feel like it was a missed opportunity because I was looking at Lopez 1-2. I was looking at Lopez by KO, which was a big number, but was able to get the fight won't start round 3 there. Weezy, you jumped on the Lopez money line late. You got I think the best number as well. So congrats.
Yeah, I mean, I got minus 140, I think, or minus 142. And it was a really difficult click for me because I had bet on Diego against Volkanovski. And my worry was that he wasn't going to really make this a dick swinging contest. He wasn't going to show the kind of urgency that I was hoping he was going to show in both Volkanovski fights, because I saw him as having a big durability advantage, a big chin advantage, a big grappling advantage, and a massive strength to schedule advantage. So I was like, man, at minus 140, I'm just going to make that bet. And then if Lopez goes out there and fights like an idiot and doesn't show urgency, okay, then that's on him. I bet on him because I thought that he was going to fight smart. And he kind of coasted for a little while. Yeah. I was getting a little worried, but as soon as those guys started really getting in that pocket and swinging, you saw that one guy is just able to take punches a lot better than the other guy, and Diego floored him and finished him. So, made 1.41 units, betting 2 units on Diego Lopez's money line, and that was my only money line bet of the card, Brady. But I did parlay 2 other money lines that didn't wind up working out for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was looking like an awful bet for the first 7
It was. It sure was.
I was like, oh God, not again, Diego. Really? Again?
I know.
And then he finally started to actually get into that second gear. Mm-hmm. And once he did, the fight was over shortly after. So yeah, that was nice. We both cashed there on the first fight. We got D.
Yes,
Spearman
that's
with
our guy, dude.
$49.99. It is. He's sponsoring the show tonight. Heck yeah, D. Saying Brady and Uncle Weezy love everything you guys do. It doesn't go unnoticed or unappreciated this way. Appreciate that so much, my guy. D's always in here supporting. Big ups to D. Spearman for the $49.99. All right. The next fight, Bo Nickel, Kyle Dawkins. This was the one fight I didn't bet on. And, hindsight's 2020, but I mean, Bo Nickel by KO probably should have been a bet here. It was like plus 200-ish. Dawkins extremely hittable. I've always thought he was chinning. And yeah, Nickel knocked him out in the very first round. Weird stand-up by Jason Herzog, like a really weird stand-up. Yeah. Nickel was doing just fine on top. He was landing big elbows. He even cut Dawkins, and Herzog's like, get up. I'm like, why? But if anything, that helped out Nickel because Nickel knocked him out shortly after. Weezy, you had the Nickel as a parlay piece, right?
Yeah, I parlayed him with Top Toro. But I just, I felt like it was minus 300. And I was like, man, 3 units to win 1, because I was considering betting him straight. But I just didn't see Topuria losing. So I was like, you know what? I'll parlay him with Ilya and get it down from minus 300 down to like minus 172. So it was a 2-unit parlay. I was very confident that Bo would win that fight because I felt like he'd be fine in the striking, but anytime he didn't like how that was going, he could get takedowns and find top time like we saw him do in round number 1 before Herzog stood him up. And I was like, oh no, that's not good. That kind of gives Kyle a chance here. But then it wasn't Kyle who landed the big shot. It was Bo. So great performance by Bo. He snapped, I think, a 7-fight win streak for Kyle Dawkins there.
Wow.
So yeah, the moment was a little bit too big for Kyle, and Bo Nickel. You know that this guy thrives in big moments. He's a champion. He's been under the bright lights of the NCAA, wrestling tournaments, nationals, all that stuff. So great performance by Bo Nickel in that fight.
Yeah, big ups, and big ups to Mauricio Hoofy, dude. I mean, we talked about it, like the squariest square bet of the week.
Yeah.
Hoofy by knockout. And I'm like, I wasn't gonna bet the fight, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought like Hoofy's gonna knock him out, man. I mean, whether it's in the first round, whether it's in the second round, I mean, Hoofy's gonna knock Michael Chandler out. And I didn't think it'd be that easy. I mean, I don't even think Chandler landed a strike, to be honest. I mean, Hoofy looked incredible. He was feinting. Chandler was biting hard on all the feints. And Wheezy, Michael Chandler looked up at the clock with 3 minutes left in the first round. And once he did, I'm like, oh, it's coming soon. It's coming. I mean, he's looking at the clock like 3 minutes left in the first.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Hoofy styled on him, finished him. I had the KO 1-2 at minus 125. It was a great bet. I mean, it was a phenomenal bet. If anybody bet the KO, it was the squarest bet on the board, but it looked like a phenomenal bet in hindsight.
I mean, yeah, and that was the one thing. I was like, all right, I'm going to parlay the Hokit KO prop with either Topuria KO or Hoofy KO. And I was like, because they were both the same price. They're both right around minus 190. And I was like, all right, so which one? And then I was like, man, Topuria is just the better fighter, So I went with Topuria KO instead of Roofy KO. And I had nothing on that fight. I was considering an over 1.5 to kind of be contrarian. I was considering a small quarter unit bet on the Chandler money line at better than plus 500 because of the experience difference, because of the potential wrestling upside. And then I was just like, you know what, dude? What are you doing? This guy's 40. He's got one win in his last 7 fights, and it was against Tony Ferguson. He's not going to win this fight. He's too old. He's too slow at this point. And I just wish I had maybe thrown like a unit straight on the Hoofy KO at minus 190. Just chip away with a little bit more than a half unit win. But, I was fine staying away from that one because it just felt like it was just such a square bet, the Hoofy KO, but you kind of just knew it was going to hit.
Yeah, sometimes the square bets, they're sharp, and that was sharp. It was a sharp bet.
Yeah.
And KO looked
Absolutely.
like a phenomenal bet. The next fight, so everything was going perfect. We were feeling good. And then the next fight was Josh Hoke at Derek Lewis. So I had the fight ends by KO. And then I had the under 1.5. I'll be honest, the under 1.5, I think, was either my first or second favorite spot on the board. I'm like, Derek Lewis is not surviving 7.5 minutes with Josh Hogan. And quite frankly, he shouldn't have. I mean, Josh Hogan could have finished that fight in the very first round. He was in full mount a couple minutes in. And instead of raining down ground and pound on a Lewis who was basically just covering up and trying to quit, like Lewis was trying to quit, Hogan was kind of just standing up and messing around. And then he goes for an armbar at the end of the first round. And it's like, what are you doing, Josh? What do you just pound this guy out? He's covering, he's turtling up. He doesn't want to be here. And then in the second round, he starts hurting Lewis with every single punch that lands. Lewis is doing the stanky leg. He's wobbling. And what does Josh Hoka do, Weezy? He's basically carrying Derek Lewis. He's holding him up. Lewis is trying to fall down and quit. And Hogan's holding him against the cage. It's like, that's suspect to me. Like, you're carrying Derek Lewis over the 1.5 round mark. Thankfully, he at the very least knocked him out. So I got the fight ends by KO. But I really would have liked to get the under as well. I don't see why and how Derek Lewis lasted that long. I mean, it made no sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, like there were a couple different ways that could have went well. Like even if he did finish that armbar, at least I would have cashed the under 1.5 rounds, which I had a 2-unit bet on. But he didn't finish the armbar, and I saw somebody on Twitter say everything that was wrong with that armbar, and it was like something that you couldn't just do in 50 characters. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to. You had to get, the check mark next to your name to be able to, produce like how many things there were wrong with that armbar. That was some white belt shit.
It's really bad.
And then we were saying it during the Fight Companion that might as well have been Weekend at Bernie's Part 3. I mean, like he was carrying a dead body past the 7.5 minute mark. I was like, oh my, I mean, we were saying it like at some point we kind of just stopped cheering and we're like, oh my God, this is going over 1.5, you know? But congratulations to Josh. I mean, like that was pretty much a flawless performance for Josh. I mean, like he may not have gotten us paid that he might have taken him over 7.5 minutes, but it was a flawless performance. He showed speed on the feet. He showed some good wrestling, showed some decent ground and pound. He just didn't show the kind of urgency that you and I needed in order to get paid. But Josh Hokett just continues to win and continues to be a thorn in the side of everybody that has to get up on a dais with this guy during a media event. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's next. Maybe it's BBL Pereira getting Hokett next. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to his next fight.
Hey, I'd be all for Pereira versus Hokett. The press conferences would be phenomenal. He keeps saying like, "I'm gonna shama your mama." Am I right, America?
Yeah, and I can't wait for the "Am I right?" whatever city he's in. You know,
I know.
Am I right, Baku? They're going to send him to Baku to fight now. You know.
Oh gosh. All right. So yeah. So that was kind of the first loss of the night. But yes, it was still 3-1 on bets. Was feeling great. Was feeling phenomenal. And then my biggest hit of the night, Weezy, I had Sean O'Malley to win by KO in rounds 2 or rounds 3 at plus 470 for 0.75 units for a 3.52 unit win. It was a huge win. Sean O'Malley goes out there and knocks out Zahabi. I told everybody at the start of the fight because Herzog was reffing. I'm like, rip up the O'Malley KO tickets. But Herzog stopped the fight. There was no move fighters. Herzog just let him get a walk-off KO. That was weird. Typically, you got to get a couple move fighters in there. But, yeah, maybe I should be sporting my Team Herzog shirt right now because he cashed me a big bet, and O'Malley knocked out Zahabi. So that was my biggest hit of the night. I figured like Sean O'Malley should be knocking this guy out. I mean, this is his easiest fight since Rolian Paiva. He's fought, Merab Dvalishvili twice, Aljamain Sterling, guys like that, Petr Yan, very durable guys, really good guys. And I've always thought like Zahabi's just a weasel, dude. So that weasel got what was coming to him.
Yeah, and I mean, and I picked O'Malley by 3rd round KO. I said that O'Malley inside the distance, which was only plus 188 when his KO was plus 200. I was telling my I was telling my odd shopper people, I was like, please don't bet the KO. Just bet the inside the distance. Take that 12 cents and just, save yourself, just a horrible evening if he winds up club and subbing this dude. So but I didn't pull the trigger. I should have. I knew it. I knew that Bo Nickel was going to finish Dawkins. I knew that Sean O'Malley was going to get that KO, but I just didn't pull the trigger on either of those inside the distance props, which would have been plus money on both, like plus 100 for Bo inside the distance and plus 188 for Sean inside the distance. He looked great, man. Great matchup for him. Ayman Zahabi was doing what we call high rolling, Brady. He was high rolling some split decisions as an underdog for a very long time, and his luck kind of ran out on Sunday night.
Yes, it did. It did. And then that's kind of the next part is where my luck kind of runs out because at this point I'm 4-1 on bets. I'm up, I think, like 5 units or so, 4 or 5 units, and I have the over. In the Gane Pereira fight, it's my first over in a very long time. I'm like, it's a Cyril Gane fight. He's very durable. Both these guys very durable. Cyril Gane's going to use that speed, that footwork. He's going to extend this fight. And I'll be honest, I thought if the under did not or the over did not hit, I kind of thought it'd be Pereira that would get the knockout. But Gane knocked out Pereira in early round 2. Not only did it not go over 2.5, it didn't go over 1.5 rounds, which kind of shocked me because I picked Gane, but I did not pick him to do that. Looking through the record of Gane, he finished Pereira faster than he finished Sergey Spivak, who didn't train for the fight and who's a vampire. He finished Pereira faster than Tai Tuivasa, who stinks and is on an 8-fight skid. He finished Pereira quicker than he finished Derek Lewis. He finished Pereira quicker than he finished a 40-year-old JDS. He finished Pereira quicker than he finished Dontel Mays, Wheezy. Dontel Mays went over 2.5 rounds. Dontel Mays. How did I not cash my over 2.5 here? So that kind of pissed me off. But yeah, props to Gon. Gon got it done, and Gon got it done in very brutal fashion. Good for him.
Yeah, that was one that I know the whole community was on that over 2.5 rounds, and that really felt like the best bet for that fight. But then they pushed it from like minus 140 earlier in the week to something like minus 180. And at that point, I don't want to be laying that much juice on an over 2.5 in a heavyweight fight. But you and I were talking about it on the live stream. We were like, the one thing that we didn't see was like a Gon knockout in rounds 1 or 2. If it were going to come, we were thinking maybe it would come later. But if that fight was going to finish under 2.5 rounds, you figured it was going to be a Pereira KO. That's the guy with the one punch KO power. But Gon styled on him. But I'd love to say I knew that was going to happen or that I was confident about it. Dude, I had no idea what was going to happen in that fight. With Pereira moving up to heavyweight, that left some unanswered questions about how he was going to perform at that weight. There was also some unanswered questions on the Gon side with him not really having a lot of tape to see at distance striking range in particular over the last 3 years or so. So, yeah, that was a great fight, great performance by Cyril Gane. I don't know what's next for him. That's like the most interesting question. Is Aspinall finally going to fight? And if he does, are they going to let him wear goggles in there against this guy?
They're calling. They're saying it might be like Gon Aspinall too.
Okay, I mean I feel like that's what you have to do, right? Because Tom still is the champion.
Yeah. Apparently Cyril said potentially in September, and Tom was like, "Yeah, let's do it in September."
Okay, all right. So it looks like Tom. So hopefully Tom's training again, and yeah, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, maybe Cyril Gane gained his first fan. Like I posed the question all last week. I'm like, if you're a fan of Cyril Gane, let me know. Let me know. And nobody let me know if they're a fan of Cyril Gane. Like even somebody came to me and was like, I'm French and I don't like this guy. So I've still yet to see a Cyril Gane fan, which is a shame, Weezy, because he's the nicest guy ever. I mean, he's probably one of the nicest heavyweights in the game, but just nobody's a fan of this guy. I don't. Maybe I'll be the first Cyril Gane fan out there. Why not? Maybe I'm a fan of the guy now.
Dude, I remember way back in the day when I first started doing content, Brady. Like at 9:00 on a Wednesday night, I was like, you know what? I'm going live now to talk about how Derek Lewis is gonna whoop this dude Cyril Gane's ass. And I just got on there and I went off on this guy. I'm like, all he does is run. Eventually, Derek's gonna knock this guy out. Boy, boy, was I wrong on that one, But he's damn good, man. Other than the Jones fight where he just got ran through and the bad decision in round 5 of the Ngannou fight, this guy Cyril Gane's looked really good, man. Even the Volkov fight was a very close fight, and he styled on Volkov the first time they fought too. So he's a damn good fighter. We got to give him his respect, and now he's going to get another chance at Aspinall.
Yeah, he's good, man. And then the main event. So it sucked. It was a phenomenal fight, but it sucked because I had Topuria under 2.5 rounds. And if Topuria finished Gaethje in that second round, it would have been like a 7-unit night. Him not getting that finish was a 7.5 unit swing. And I was watching the clips are all over Twitter, and I keep watching. And it's like he was so close to finishing Gaethje in round 2. Yeah. Landed nasty body shots. He dropped Gaethje with the body shot. And what does he do, Weezy? He gets on top. He gets in the mount very shortly after. And then what does he do? He goes for an arm bar. It's like, what are you doing, Ilya? What are you doing? Why are you going for an arm? And then you try to pull a Habib and try to get on top and get that triangle.
It's a triangle, yeah.
Yeah, that Habib got. You're not Habib, Topuria. You should have let him back up, attack the body again, right? Like knock him out to the body. So it looked like he kind of gassed himself out after the second, and then that was that. So that was brutal. A Topuria early finish away from just a monster night. But yeah, phenomenal fight. I think I underestimated how tough Gaethje really is. That's kind of the one thing I think I underestimated. But at the same time, it's like, Volkanovski's tough. Charles Oliveira's tough. Max Holloway's tough. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't think it mattered, but Gaethje's stupid tough. So credit to Gaethje. Can't believe it. 37 years old. Once again, the 35 and up curse is broken. That was remarkable. So, yeah, interested to see what happens with Ilya going forward. He's going to have to clearly take some time off. It looked like Justin Gaethje had like nickels in his gloves.
I know, dude.
That was just brutal. So, yeah, what were your thoughts on the main event?
Yeah, so I went into the main event down like a half unit, and I had a 2-unit money line parlay with the nickel money line and the Topuria money line, and then I had a 1-unit parlay at like plus 180 with the Topuria KO and the Hokit KO. So, you know, I go into that main event with the chance to finish up, you know, something like 2.5, 3 units, something like that, and I'm already counting my money.
Yeah,
you know, and you know, like Topuria's landed some big shots at the end of round 1. And then, you know, he's walking back to his corner. I'm like, man, his face looks messed up. Like Gaethje doesn't have a mark on him, but it looked like Topuria to me was landing the bigger shots. But everything that Justin was landing was doing massive damage. And what, you know, and then in round 2, I mean, obviously Ilya almost finishes him. And you and I are just screaming, let him up while we're watching. And, you know, that winds up being like a 6-unit swing for me. I wound up losing like 3.5 units because the Hokit under 1.5 doesn't cash by like a minute. The Topuria KO doesn't cash because he tries to submit him instead of letting him back up and finishing the job. And then the Topuria money line doesn't cash because he gasses out after round 2. And to me, that looked like ring rust. That looked like he hadn't been sparring because his face got lit up. And I'm sorry to say that I just don't believe Justin was hitting that hard. It's not like this guy hasn't been in there against power punchers. Like did his face look anything close to like that after being in there against Josh Emmett? No,
never. His face never looked like that.
You know, he went into the 3rd round with Volk. He went into the 2nd round with I forget, it was the 2nd round with Volk and the 3rd round with Holloway, right? You know, and he's not showing that kind of damage. And then it's just like, it's like they gave Gaethje special gloves or something because, man, I mean, like everything that he landed was doing major damage. And Ilya said he couldn't see out of his right eye after the 1st round, and he couldn't see out of his left eye after the 2nd round. And so I don't know if it was cardio or if it was just like, I can't see anymore, because in round 3, it was clear. It was looking like he was trying to take the round off, and Justin did not let him. And he turned the tide of that fight. And all the credit goes to Justin Gaethje. Proving once again that MMA math doesn't always work. There's a lot of people who says it never works. Those people are laughing their asses off because Topuria ran through Holloway, who beat Justin. He ran through Oliveira. Didn't Oliveira beat Justin twice? Or am I imagining that?
I think you're imagining that.
Okay, but once is enough.
Yeah, once is enough.
You know, once is enough. I mean, like both those guys, you know, beat Justin badly. And then Ilya goes out there and loses to him, man. It's a crazy sport we bet on. And that's another thing, too. You never see me, you know, parlaying minus 500s.
Yeah.
That's how confident I was that Ilya was going to win that fight. So congratulations, Justin Gaethje. You pulled off one of the most spectacular upsets in the history of the UFC on one of the most spectacular cards, one of the most unique cards in a main event. You beat one of the best fighters in the organization in any weight class. So Gaethje, even though he put the complete stamp on my gambling night and me getting rinsed for 3.5 units, he put a stamp on a phenomenal card with that win.
Yeah, it was a big upset. It was one of the biggest upsets I've ever seen. And the odds don't indicate that because Topuria is only like minus 500. But, you know, I thought that was a big upset there. So, yeah, congrats to Justin Gaethje. Looking forward to seeing what he does next, and Topuria. But yeah, Topuria needs to take some time off. He took a ton of damage. Like his face
got rearranged.
Yeah, that is bad. Poor guy. All right, let's see what you guys had last week for the milking and the piping. You guys had the milking, Josh Hokit to milk Derek Lewis. He did. He did exactly that. He milked him, made him quit, but he didn't cash the under for us.
Yeah, damn him.
And the piping of the week was Taporia to pipe Justin Gaethje on site. Nope. Almost.
It was close.
It was close.
Yeah.
Just every time I see that clip in the second round, it's like, Ilya, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why? You had him. You had him, Ilya. Are we going for arm bars? I mean, Gage is not a great grappler, but he's not going to get arm barred. I mean, come on, man. Like, you're not going to arm bar somebody in a title fight. I mean, that's crazy. So, yeah, the piping of the week fails. The milking of the week comes through. Let's see who needs to get help. And the person that needs to get help, we had 4 options. In 4th place is El Matador at 5%. 3rd place is Alex Pereira at 24%. In 2nd place is Ilya Top-Toro at 28%. In 1st place is Ilya Top-Pura at 43%.
Yeah, the guy is one of the most confident fighters. He has that, what I call the undefeated fighter confidence. And it's when somebody's as dominant and as good of a fighter as Ilya is, it's hard to picture how they're going to lose when you haven't seen it yet. Well, now we know what it looks like. And it was just him getting outlasted, It looked like he was confident that would finish early. And when Justin made it to the end of the second round, it looked like Ilya was like, damn it, now what?
Yep. So yeah, Ilya Taporia needs to get some help. All right, let's get to the chat. What is up, everybody? We're not going to go through every message. We have like probably 100+ messages. We'd be here till very late. So do you want to shout you guys out? We got Milkman in here, Pablo, Lumpy, Elijah One. We got Daz in the building. What is up, Daz? Carlos in here, Black Belt. We got UFC picks and balances. We got Dan from Half the Battle. What is up? Wildberry, Ryan. We got Official Vor. We got Dawes. And by the way, I gave a t-shirt out for every single finish on the card last night. And Dawes was one of the winners, but he's not in the United States. So he hits me up and he says, I'm not in the United States. And I'm like, oh gosh, I can't really ship out of the US. And I'm like, okay, where are you at? And I'm hoping he's not saying like Australia. And he's like, Australia. And I'm like, dude, come. No, I can't. They're shipping to Australia. It's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. So I'm gonna probably do something else for Dawes, but he's actually going to donate his t-shirt to Uncle Weezy. Uncle Weezy, you're a winner, man.
Yeah, this is huge. This is huge. After taking that loss on the Top-Toro fight last night, this is I finally got a DFS by the numbers t-shirt. It's about damn time.
You got it. Guys. Shout out to Dawes for being from Australia.
Dude, I tried to win one last night and people go, what is Weezy doing in here trying to win?
I know you were close to. Yeah, Australia, the shipping's crazy. Like my wife gets this one product from Australia, and when she orders it, it takes like 2 months to show up, 2 or 3 months. I'm like, dang, it's wild. Just wild. So shout out to Dawes donating the shirt to Uncle Weezy. Heck yeah. We got Dixon Sider in here, and he's got the Taporia working at McDonald's. Come on, he's like 17-1, or he's 17-1. We got Stone in the building. What is up? What is up, Ram Dog, Mr. Graffiti? We got my guy Daniel in the building. What is up? We got Big Red. We got Peter. We got Go Bees. We got Ver. We got Maverick. Who else? We got Jake in here. We got this chat's going crazy. We got Desmus. We got Freedom Guy, Local Man, Shakes Fist. You name it. Everybody's in here tonight. Wheezy, Cole Stein. We got Gil in the building. It's pronounced Top-Turio.
Top-Turio. Yeah. Top-Turio.
Top-Turio. Shout out Top-Turio. Dawes, he's loving it. he's loving it, man. All right, guys, we got to get into it. We're already 34 minutes in. We got some fights to talk about, and we're gonna get into it. And the first fight is going to be Shane Collins going against Otari Tanzilovi, which is the most Contender Series fight of all time. It's like the Contender Series is starting next month or so. Like, put it on there. Like, why are you doing this to us? So, Weezy, this is the one fight that I did not break down yet. I
Yeah.
don't know if I'll get to it anytime soon. So I didn't look into either one of these guys. What I'll say is Tanzalovi did fight on the Contender Series, and he lost to Josias Musasa, which I don't love that because Musasa's ground game is really bad. And as far as Shane Collins, I don't know who he is, but people were kind of jerking him off on Twitter. Apparently, he's pretty good. So, were you able to look into any of these guys, Weezy, yet?
Not really, dude. I watched one fight for not Tanzalovi for Collins, and it was like it was the only fight that I could find on Fight Pass or no, there were a couple on Fight Pass because he's in A1, but it was fighting somebody named Ty Miller, or not Ty Miller. Oh yeah, it was Tyler Miller, different Ty Miller, but yeah, he beat that guy, but I think that guy's 3-9. And the one thing I looked at for Shane Collins when I was wiki capping him was that nobody that he's beaten has ever won a fight after he beat them. And that's something you want to look at. Like, because sometimes, the record looks good. They go into the fight with like a 4-1 record and they beat the guy like 3 years ago. But then you look at the guy's current record and he's 4-5. And you're like, oh, maybe he just crushed cans and had a decent looking record on paper. But, so that's the thing I'm worried about with Collins, because he's fighting in A1 combat. I don't know are you sharing my screen? I can't tell.
No, do you want me to?
Yeah, do it. I mean, just because I've got the last 5 fights on here for these guys, and with Tanzalovi, you got some better names in my opinion. Or wait, I should move over here. Yeah, Guillermo Torres was in the Ultimate Fighter house. Musasa is a guy that fights with constant pressure, and he's looking to take your head off. So it's a tough stylistic matchup. And then he's fighting in some reputable organizations all over the world. So I think Tanzalovi's got a little bit of a strength of schedule advantage in this fight. And Shane Collins, you could see, like, even his most 2 recent fights, they don't even have lines on him. And then he's minus 550, he's minus 305, minus 220 against some guys in A1 Combat, the Uriah Faber promotion in California. So I don't really know what to think about this one. You see that Tanzalovi's 7-0 to the KO, but he's 3-1 to the decision and 0-0 to the sub. So Tanzalovi's going to try to box with you. And Collins 4-0 to the KO, 1-0 to the sub, 2-0 to the decision. So I'm going to, you don't have to share my screen anymore. We don't have any data for either one of these guys. So it's hard to know what's going to happen here. I still have to watch more tape on both Tanzalovi and Collins, but Tanzalovi looks to be like bouncing around between 135 and 145. It looks like he's moving up to 145 for this fight.
Yeah, I agree with Dixon. It's like, who?
Yeah, exactly.
Who? But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Shane Collins, he opened up minus 150. He's currently minus 160. Tanzalovi opened up plus 130, currently plus 140. So yeah, we'll see. People were sucking off Shane Collins, I saw. So I'll probably look into it later this week. But yeah, nothing from me here. And I, quite frankly, I'd be shocked if I had bet on this fight. WikiFeed score for Shane Collins. You're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it. Kyle Hollywood's gonna cook this feller. We shall see. We shall see. If you parlayed all the KOs together, would probably been something crazy for last night, for sure. All right, let's move on to the next fight, and it is going to be Leon Shabazian going against Levon Chokeli. We got Shabazian, 30 years old, 6'4", with a 74-inch reach. Chokeli, 29 years old, 6'1", with a 73-inch reach. Both these guys are making their debut, and I mean, I knew a little bit about Shabazian. I remember him from the Rowe fight. And I kind of thought he was a bum then, but I started watching this tape on this guy, and it's like, what the hell are they seeing with Leon Shabazian? I mean, this guy is a front choke merchant, and that's it. He has a front choke. Like, I'm watching these fights, like anytime he's winning, it's like a front choke or a submission off his back. His wrestling's bad, and quite frankly, he doesn't wrestle. He pressures forward with his hands down, his chin up in the air. His striking stinks. His striking defense stinks. His chin stinks. His cardio is somehow worse than his brother Edmonds. I don't know what the UFC is doing here. It's like why? At least he's fun. Like his fights finish. I think he's been over 1.5 rounds, like maybe I think once or so. So I think it's probably gonna be like he's gonna be a violence guy, but outside of a front choke, I just don't see him winning many fights. So as far as Joe Kelly, this is a guy who's pretty fun, man. I mean, he's fought some good competition outside the UFC for sure. And this guy swings his dick. This guy loads the hell up. I think he's going to knock out Shabazian here in this fight. He can also wrestle. His ground and pound's very good. But if you're Joe Kelly, it's like, don't do that. There's no need. Don't wrestle Shabazian. You're giving him his only path, because Shabazian's going to come forward and he's going to pretty much let you knock him out here. So, I mean, Shabazian been knocked out 4 times. 3 of those times come in the first round. Got knocked out by Phil Rowe. He got knocked out by Gabe Green in round 1. And I think Joe Kelly should be able to knock him out. So, yeah, I don't get this signing. Joe Kelly actually looks decent to me, but this is another fight, Weezy, where it's like, put this on the Contender Series next month. Like, why is this on a UFC card?
Yeah, it's because of this. The finger thing, it means the money. And these guys know that, you're getting 2 guys that on minimum contracts. You're going to be able to show commercials for 20 minutes after Joe Kelly knocks this dude out in round number 1, or Chokely, as they were calling him. I think his name is actually Chokely.
Well, hopefully he doesn't get choke lead in this fight.
Well, that's the thing, right? That's what you got to watch, because if you're fighting Leon Shabazian, you should be listening to Protect Your Neck by the Wu-Tang Clan on repeat, because that's what you're going to really need to do. This guy's just looking for guillotines. And so if you can limit grappling exchanges, keep the fight on the feet. This guy's chinny. He's fairly low volume, and he's extremely hittable. And like you said, he can't wrestle at all. He's like a grappler who makes you wrestle him, but he doesn't really bring the kind of pressure or striking threat that's going to force you to wrestle against him. So, I like Chokely to knock him out in the first round. I'm sharing my screen, and I'll go through this real quick, Brady, I promise. Yeah, 3-inch height advantage and a 1-inch reach advantage for Shabazian. These guys have a similar amount of pro experience when it comes to fights, but you see Chokely's got twice as much cage time as a professional. Strength of schedule, we don't really have any data for UFC, but Chokely's definitely fought the better brand of competition. He's a Bellator guy, while Shabazian brings a 4-fight win streak into this fight. But you can see here, Ariane Tavares, Aaron Phillips, Elisario, Robert Hale. These are guys with some they got experience. They're regional scene guys that aren't going to go to the big show, but they're experienced guys, good guys to get wins off of. But, beating Aaron Phillips or Elisario or Tavares or Hale at this point doesn't mean that you're UFC level. And the market was pretty much expecting him to win. And the most important thing here that I wanted to show this is, like, the career trajectory and the recency bias are looking good because he's on a 4-fight win streak. But this dude is 1 win and 4 losses to the knockout, and he's 11 wins and 0 losses to the sub. So he's never even seen a decision in his professional career, which is 16 fights. And, he's winning these fights that he's supposed to win. And a lot of the fights don't even have lines. And Kelly's coming off a win over Goncalves, who's a nobody. Before that, he lost to Lorenz Larkin, and then he was getting some wins over some decent names in Bellator. But, I got Joe Kelly with a strength of schedule advantage here, a big striking advantage, a big power advantage, big durability advantage. I think he's going to knock him out in the first round. And it's not anything that's a hot take, Brady. I mean, like, this is a featherweight, or a welterweight fight where the under 1.5 rounds is priced at -140.
Yeah. I was hoping that we can catch him slipping on the under, but no,
not even close.
No, they're sharp, man. They're very sharp. So, it even moved even more the under.
It's worse than -140 now?
Yeah. So I guess, it's probably going to end in round 1. I mean, Shabazian, this guy, so hittable, so chinny. Joe Kelly should not mess this up, I don't think. But if I lay -300 on Joe Kelly and he shoots in on a take, then I'm going to be pretty upset. Because Shabazian does have a good front choke. I'll give him that. It's a very good front choke.
Yeah, he
Very
does.
good. Chokeli KO, I like it. Yeah, maybe that's probably the way to look. Chokeli might be the pipe in the week, potentially. We could see some pipings on this card. Tari is good. He won that Contender Series fight too. Was robbed. I think him at an underdog line is pretty good.
Yeah, dream on. He's nowhere near an underdog in this fight.
And he didn't fight on the Contender Series, right?
Oh yeah, he did. Tanzalovi fought. He's talking about Otari. He's talking about Otari from the last fight that we talked about. Yeah.
I didn't tape that fight. And I'm fried. Quick question for both Brady and Uncle Easy. Was the UFC White House card the best UFC event of all time? If not, what was? I'd say it could be, man. It certainly could be. It's one of my favorite. What do you think, Weezy?
I think it's top 5, along with that Sphere event, along with like the UFC 200 and 300 cards, which were phenomenal. And then, I think it just because of the visual splendor of all of that, it's just something you're never going to see again. And I think they really did something special last night, Brady. I think they really did. They hit a home run.
Yeah, my bad. I'm fried, man. I'm fried. I think it's definitely top 3. One of my favorite cards of all time was the card that I went to in Austin, Texas, where just like every fight finished. Delide killed Dawkins, Phil Hawes killed Deron Wynn. Even like Cody Stamen got a knockout against Eddie Wineland. We saw Ricardo Ramos get that spinning back elbow. Jeremiah Wells sparked poor Court McGee. Yanez knocked out Tony Kelly. Rodriguez and Marquez stood and banged and knocked out Marquez in the first round. Buckley finished Duraev. Holland finished Tim Means. I mean, that was probably one of my favorite fight cards ever, but I was there and like every fight finished. It was ridiculous. All right, let's move on to the next fight, and it is going to be Michael Aswell Jr. going against Gaston Bolaños. We got Aswell, 25 years old, 5'8" with a 69-inch reach. Bolaños, 33 years old, 5'7" with a 69-inch reach. We have Aswell is going to be 8 years younger, 1-inch height advantage, same reach there. Bolaños is 3-2 in his last 5 fights, made his debut against Aaron Phillips, won that fight by decision, knocked out by Marcus McGee, won a decision against Cortavius, Are You Not Entertained Romeus, and then lost by submission to Kwang Bang Lee. As far as Aswell, he is 2-3 in his last 5 fights, had that decision loss against Bogdan Grad on the Contender Series, very close fight there. Beat Dorian Ramos by decision, lost to Balaji Oki by decision, beat Lucas Almeida by knockout, and then lost to Luke Riley by decision. So, yeah, I mean, I like Michael Aswell here. He's training at the 4-ounce fight cut with Joshua Van and Alden Correa and those guys over there. And he brings that style of just like really good pace, a ton of volume. He doesn't have a ton of power at all. And that's kind of the one knock I have on Aswell is like the power is not really there. He did knock out Lucas Almeida, but Lucas Almeida was fighting with, a broken hand and shouldn't have been fighting that night. But yeah, Aswell's good. I mean, Aswell's super tough. He has great cardio. I think he's going to be the more durable fighter here. He's the younger fighter here. He's going to have the better cardio here. He's going to have more volume here as well. And he hasn't shown any wrestling yet in the UFC, but outside the UFC, he's out there, getting some takedowns. And I think that'd be wise here against Bolaños, whose ground game's atrocious. So, yeah, I like Aswell here. I could honestly see him winning by any method. I could see a potential late KO. I could see a decision. And Bolaños' ground game is so bad that it wouldn't shock me if Aswell even got like his first sub ever. So, but yeah, I like Aswell here. Leaning decision. But if I'm looking at a parlay piece this week, this is kind of the guy I'm looking at. What are your thoughts on this fight, Weezy?
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen here. I mean, obviously the market agrees 100% with you. They got Aswell at 80% implied. He's going to be a 1 inch taller. They got the same reach. But yeah, Michael's almost, or he's more than 8 years younger. So you really like that, obviously, statistically. Similar in amount of experience in fights, 13 for Bolaños, 15 for Aswell, but twice as much time in the pro cage in half the amount of years. And then a similar amount of UFC experience, but a 1 year layoff for Gaston. He was supposed to fight a couple months ago and just got screwed. His first opponent pulled out. His second opponent didn't make weight. So Gaston's on a 13-month layoff here while Michael Aswell's making a quick turnaround of 3 months. So Aswell been the much more active fighter as of late. When we look at strength of schedule, neither one of these guys are ranking high in my strength of schedule ratings right now. So I'd say that we're pretty similar in terms of the level of competition that they've fought at the UFC level. These are the important numbers, though. Michael Aswell spends 90% of his time at distance striking range, where he's throwing a bunch of volume, landing a bunch of volume. But more importantly, he's absorbing a ton of strikes. He's absorbing 8.17 distance strikes per minute. He's only showing 52% distance striking defense, negative 1.4 distance striking differential over like a half-hour sample size. So if this guy doesn't have grappling upside, that is not the kind of guy I'm trying to lay minus 400 on. You have to be better defensively than that. Bolaños actually has a positive distance striking differential of 0.67. He's a little bit more accurate at range. He's a little bit more defensively responsible, but Aswell throws more, lands more, and is going to be the busier striker for sure. But I think Bolaños is probably going to have a little bit more pop, even though we haven't seen him land any knockdowns at the UFC level. This is a guy who's going to throw spinning back elbows and try to knock you out. Both of these guys really aren't going to grapple at all. Maybe Michael might have some upside there, but I doubt it. And then when we look at the ROI, it's negative 53% for Aswell because he's 1-2. Gaston's 2-2 with a positive ROI, and he does have a positive ROI when he's ranked or when he's priced as a underdog. And then Gaston's lost 2 of his last 3 fights. The win over Romeus, the win over Phillips, the losses come to tough opponents, Marcus McGee, Quang Bang Lee. And you could see what Bolaños is here. He's going to try to win minutes or moments with his striking, Brady. He's 8-2 to the decision and the knockout, but he's 0-3 to the sub. So this is another reason why I wouldn't lay minus 400 on Aswell here, is because this is a striker versus striker matchup. Both guys are going to get the fight that they want. A little bit positive ROI here of 12.2% over the last 5 fights for Gaston Bolaños, so that's not bad. As well has lost 2 of his last 3 fights, but when and you know, you could see here 0-0 to the sub, but he's 11-4 to the knockout and to the decision. So he's capable of winning both minutes and moments with his striking as well. So this is a striker versus striker matchup where I could see either guy having success on the feet. But it's just Aswell's been more active lately. He's shown a little bit more at this level. And the losses at 155 against Oki, you know, against a really tough opponent in Luke Riley down at 145. And the win over Almeida just doesn't mean much. So market probably has been a little bit too rich recently with the negative 47% ROI. As he's, you know, and I mean, let's not forget, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. Let's not forget, you know, this guy lost to Bogdan Grad. Do we really want to be laying minus 400 on him against another striker here?
Oh, well, I thought he beat Grad, but yeah, that's the problem. He has no power.
He fights close. He's going to fight close, man. So,
yeah. It's hilarious that his sub props only plus 800. Like, what's happened to MMA betting? Like, that should be like a couple of years ago. That's 16-1. It's plus 800.
Yeah, they know that Gaston loses those fights by sub. You know, 3 losses by sub as a pro. But like, why would I pay minus 800 when I know that Michael Aswell has never won a fight by submission in his career?
Exactly.
I don't even know if he knows how to spell sub.
He does wrestle. Like, I've seen him wrestle outside the UFC, but inside the UFC, he's only attempted, I think, 1 takedown. He's 1 for 1. So, yep. Yeah, I like Aswell here. Don't know if I'm going to play it yet. That's a good point. He's super hittable, and Bolaños absolutely has the power advantage. I think anybody that Aswell fights is going to have the power advantage against him. Aswell just doesn't have a ton of power. So, we'll see. Bolaños, Aswell over 1.5, and Aswell money line. Yeah, could do like a same game parlay, maybe like an Aswell over 1.5, depending on the line. I don't know if it's going to be great, though. We'll see. There we go. What's up there? All right, let's keep moving on to the next fight. And it is going to be a fight that we broke down a month ago or so. It's Alon Nascimento going against Mitch Raposo. We got Nascimento, 34 years old, 5'8" with a 69-inch reach. Raposo, 27 years old, 5'5" with a 64-inch reach. Nascimento 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Decision loss to Tagir Ulanbekov. Decision win against Jake Hadley. Submission win against Carlos Hernandez. Decision win against Jafel Filio. And a submission win against Cody Durden. As far as Mitch Raposo, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He made his debut against Andre Lima, lost that fight by decision. Lost the decision to Suma Darji, and then won by decision against Azat Maksum. So, yeah, my pick hasn't changed. I went with Nascimento by decision. I actually think like Raposo's kind of live. If I could trust Raposo to give a shit in there and like actually try and like throw and show put forth some effort, like yeah, he can win this fight. I used to think there was a hole in the grappling of Mitch Raposo, but I think he's fixed it. The takedown defense looks a lot better. The get up game looked incredible against Maxim. So that's good for this matchup. And then on the feet, he did flash power outside the UFC that is not translated yet. And then the volume is not translated. The volume stinks. And it's like, even in this fight, like Raposo should have the striking advantage in theory, but I don't even know if I can give him the striking advantage, Bleezy, because he's so freaking low volume that Nascimento, who's not a great striker, could probably compete in the striking just, by throwing kicks, by throwing volume. So, yeah, it's a weird fight. I think Raposo is a live dog, but I just don't want to put money on a guy that just doesn't do anything in there,
I hear you, man. I'm sharing my screen. Nascimento, 66% implied favorite. Pretty much makes sense to me. And he's 3 inches taller. He's got a 5-inch reach advantage, so he's the much bigger flyweight here. But Mitch is 7 years younger, so you got to like that. He switches stances. Nascimento, a lot more pro experience, a little bit more UFC experience than Mitch has. Strength to schedule advantage slightly lies on the Nascimento side, but Raposo's got a decent strength to schedule at least. Then we look at the distance striking, and you see these horrible numbers: 4.86 distance strikes attempted per minute compared to over 13 for Nascimento. He's only landing 2.05. He absorbs 3.08, which is a very low number. That's 30% lower than the divisional average. So, the division absorbs around 4 significant strikes. So Raposo doesn't take a lot of damage, but he's got a negative distance striking differential. But like Nascimento is not some great minute winner on the feet either. When it comes to the grappling, I think Mitch is probably the better offensive and defensive wrestler in this matchup. But Nascimento is without question the more dangerous grappler. I think I give him a big minute and moment winning upside in the grappling exchanges of this fight because Mitch, he can win some minutes with top control, but he doesn't do a lot from top control. And you don't want to be grappling with Nascimento if you don't have to. Both of these guys have great ROIs at the UFC level, 45% for Nascimento, 61% for Raposo. And Raposo is only 1-2 in the UFC, so it goes to show you that this guy is cashed as a big underdog at the UFC level in his last fight against Azat Maksum. Nascimento, 4-fight win streak, 15-0 to the sub, 2-0 to the KO. So he's 17-0 to the finish, but he's 5-6 to the decision. So if you're not thinking that Nascimento is live for a finish somewhere, he's going to be beatable. Like, you don't want to lay minus 200 on Nascimento if you think that he's going to win a decision, because he's probably not, Then you look at how he's performing here. You got to love it, right? He's cashing as a favorite. He wins an upset against Hadley, and his only loss was as a plus 320 underdog. Raposo's coming off a win, but like before that, this guy had never beaten anybody with a pulse, Brady. You look at the names: Rob Fuller, jabroni. Raymond Yanez, jabroni. Zach Burhans, jabroni. Ron Leon, jabroni. Matt Almy, jabroni. Jay Viola, jabroni. Flavio Carvalho, jabroni. Tyler the Butter Knife Smythe, jabroni. Justin Valentine, took him till 4 rounds to finish that guy, jabroni. And then, but now he loses to Lima, he loses to Sumadarji, both by split decision. And now all of a sudden he goes out there and he beats Azat Maksum. He limits the grappling success. He kind of wins with his boxing and with his anti-grappling, keeping the fight standing, landing the bigger shots on the feet, was more defensively sound and more accurate. So now he's showing that he can win a little bit of minutes, even though he's low volume. So I think that the way that Mitch fights Brady, I kind of like the overs here, because I don't worry about Mitch finishing anybody at this level, much less a guy that's never been finished in something like 25 professional fights. And then I really only worry about Alon Nascimento finding a finish if he gets the dominant positions in the grappling, because Mitch is just doesn't take a lot of damage at distance striking range. So I think either one of these guys can win this fight by decision, but fight goes at -140 would probably be my favorite bet for this one.
Yeah, you're just fading the Nascimento sub, which, by the way, it's +180. It's probably the most disgusting prop of the week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, agreed. I mean, I want nothing to do with it. +180 is disgusting because I know that Mitch is probably going to fight pretty smart here. He'd be dumb to shoot a takedown. And it's not like Nascimento can wrestle. So as crazy as it is, as you know, this guy's wins are all jabronis except for one guy, Moxham. And Moxham is 1-3 in the UFC and got cut. So maybe he's a jabroni too. Just the Kazakh version of whatever they would call a jabroni in their language. So Mitch might be able to win this one, man. Like Mitch by decision +240 or something. You know, I don't know. Maybe that's the play. Maybe Mitch by split. Maybe fight goes to split. Maybe Nascimento by split.
Maybe. Oh gosh. What is the let's see, what is the +3.5 on this jabroni Mitch Raposo?
Yeah, what is it?
The +3.5 point spread. I'm guessing it's awful because everything's awful. It's only it's -110. That's not bad to win a round. Win one round against Nascimento. That's not horrible.
And not get finished, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's really worked on that grappling, because the Jake Hadley fight was horrible. I mean, he got insta-tagged by Jake Hadley. So, but I think he's gotten a lot better since then. And he was like 23 or 24 at the time. So, yeah, I agree. I think it probably goes to decision. I don't know if I'll bet this fight, though. We got Dana saying 153 people in the chat, but only 55 likes for Brady Uncle Weezy is disgusting. In my best Uncle Weezy voice, I'm disgusted. There
Disgusted.
We got to at least get 100 likes. I mean, this is a massive card. UFC Vegas 119.
Yeah.
I think we get 100 likes by the time we get out of here. What's good, homies? What is good? What is good, Slab? We got AJ in here. What's good? What's good? Gaston round 1. That's where he'll be most dangerous. You know, he does have some power early on. We got Jake saying, Jabroni gang, stand up. Yes, freak, stand up. Tyler, the butter knife slander will not be tolerated. I tend to agree with this.
Those guys on the Northeast regional scene, it is the worst regional scene. You find it should all be like Cage Titans should be called Cage Jabronis. You know, CES should be called CE Jabroni. You know, these are the worst. I mean, like Combat Zone should be called Jabroni Zone. You know, like these are the worst organizations in the country. CES, Combat Zone, Cage Titans. Just change them all to the Jabroni, you know, Northeast Jabroni regional scene.
Agreed. Are we sure Raposo's decent or Maxim just doo-doo? Yeah, he's probably doo-doo. Yeah, I think he's probably
little
doo-doo.
From column A, little from column B.
Yeah. You know who's not a jabroni? Yeah, Andre Fiala's not a jabroni.
Got that right, baby. Look 100%. At how high he's keeping his chin, though, in that picture. That's a problem. He's got to start tucking that chin a little bit. He's getting knocked out too much.
His chin is up high in that picture, man. You got to put that down, Andre. You're going to get knocked out for like the 8th time.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to the next fight. Oh, God. We got Bia Mesquita going against Melissa No Mess Mullins. We got Mesquita, 35 years old, 5'4", with a 66-inch reach. Melissa No Mess Mullins, 34 years old, 5'7", with a 68-inch reach. We got Mullins 1 year younger. We got Mullins 3-inch height advantage and a 2-inch reach advantage. Bia Mesquita is 5-0 in her last 5 fights. Made her debut against Irina Alexeva. Won that fight by second round submission. She went out there and knocked down Montserrat Rendon and then subbed her there shortly after. As far as Melissa Mullins, 3-2 in her last 5 fights. Knocked out Daria Zelnikova, won a decision against Irina Alexeyeva, lost by knockout to Nora Cornhole, won by knockout against Claudia Segulia, and then lost a decision to Daria Zelnikova. So, yeah, this is an interesting fight. And I was thinking, like, yeah, I might take a shot some violence, Wheezy. You know, it's a female fight, it's a bantamweight fight. Maybe I like some violence, but the fight doesn't go to decision. Minus 325. Like, is this Liang Na fighting this week? Bia Mesquita inside the distance, Wheezy. Minus 280. I mean, what are we doing? What on God's green earth are we doing here? But yeah, I mean, I agree. I think Mesquita should get it done inside the distance. You know, Mullins does have a grappling background, but you know, Mesquite is just on another level when it comes to the grappling. And Melissa Mullins is also an idiot. I mean, Melissa Mullins has probably the worst fight IQ in the UFC. She's a complete idiot. So she's probably gonna make a couple mistakes here and probably end up getting, you know, tapped out at some point in this fight. So yeah, minus 600 on Bia Mosquito is crazy because if Mullins gets on top, you know, they call her no mess. They should call her mess because she makes a mess on these bitches, Wheezy. I mean, if she gets on top, there will be a mess in these fights. So, yeah, I mean, if Mullins can get on top here, you know, her ground and pound's vicious. Both ladies have good ground and pound. Still kind of question maybe the cardio of Mesquita. I question the striking of Mesquita, but I kind of feel like this fight's going to take place on the ground, and that's obviously going to favor Mesquita here. So I like Mesquita, but there is no way I would ever lay minus 600 on her. There is no way I would ever lay minus 280 on a female fighter to finish a fight ever. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's, you know, somebody fighting Liang Na. It's just wild to me. So these props stink. I don't think I've seen props this bad. So it's as of now, it's a pass for me, Weezy. What's sticking out to you on this one here?
Yeah, so I saw this and I'm like, Melissa Mullins is a IBJJF world champion at the black belt level. I mean, as a matter of fact, one of the world championships that she won, she did not give up 1 point throughout the entire tournament. So I was saying to myself, I says to myself, Bia Mesquita minus 600, Melissa Mullins plus 425. Let's watch the tape. I want to watch a little bit of Bia. I want to watch a little bit of Melissa. And I watch Melissa versus Nora Cornhole.
Oh,
and I see Melissa kind of clinch up with Nora, gets a really nice a body lock trip takedown right into guard. And then like 20 seconds later, Brady, she gets swept.
I remember that. I was like, holy crap. That did not just happen.
Dude, I stood up off the couch. I pressed stop and I'm like, nope, I am not betting on Melissa Mullins here. Like, I was trying to find some reason to think maybe she might be live in this fight. Nah, man. I mean, they're about the same age. As you can see, Melissa's got a 3-inch height, a 2-inch reach advantage. That's something to hang your hat on. Melissa's got a little bit more pro and UFC experience. Melissa's got a little bit of a UFC strength to schedule advantage here. Melissa's probably going to be the better striker, but Bia's metrics are even better than Melissa's are. And it's not like Melissa's a gifted striker. She's got 54% defense, and she's absorbing over 7 significant strikes per minute at distance with a negative 2.28 distance striking differential. And then Bia Mesquita's back takes are absolutely phenomenal. The speed and efficiency with which she takes somebody's back, if she even gets close to them, is incredible. So, I mean, stop sharing the screen. Who are we fucking kidding here? I mean, like, this is going to be an absolute ass kicking. Minus 325 for fight doesn't go to decision. That's a 76% implied probability. The finish rate in this division is only 36%. So the bookies are pricing up the finish in this fight 40% higher than the divisional average. It's more than twice the price of what you would pay if you were just going to price it as if it had the same amount of chance to go, finish inside the distance as any other bantamweight fight. So, yeah, I think Bia's going to absolutely run through Melissa. I was actually trying to find reasons to bet Melissa. I looked pretty hard, you guys. Don't waste your time. Bia's going to shave her ass.
Yeah, if you get swept by Nora Cornhole, I mean, there's a problem. there's a serious problem. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I agree. I don't know. I like what are we supposed to do here? Like, am I going to lay chalk on an under 1.5? No, like
No.
I don't
No,
know.
because then you just get mad if they don't wind up doing it, like, oh my God, somebody just posted a meme of Melissa Mullins trying to break dance in the cage after one of her wins and saying, need to be careful talking that smack about no mess. My guy, the Hood Wolf.
Oh my gosh! So I went to the wiki feed.
Okay.
Bia Mesquita has 362 photos. I don't think I've seen 362 photos. What is going on? The first photo that shows up is her on like a massage table, and it looks like, I don't know if that's Alon. It looks like Alon Nascimento. I don't think it's him, but it might be him. And he's holding up her foot and just smiling at the camera. I wish I could show this picture. He's like holding up her foot to the camera and just with the biggest smile on his face. And there's like several different, and then there's another picture where he's holding up the foot, right? But he's got his nose in the shirt, like it's like her foot smells. Like what? 362 photos of Bia Mesquita's feet. That's incredible.
Wow. The Brazilians must love feet.
360, and she has a 4.2 rating, which is not, gonna knock your socks off, but it's a solid rating. As far as Melissa Mullins, let's take a look here. Melissa Mullins.
So what was the rating though for Bia?
Yeah, 4.2.
That's solid.
Yeah, it's solid.
Above average.
Melissa Mullins only she only has two photos. Oh my. Oh my God. Oh my God, Wheezy. Bia Mesquita should be minus at 10,000, Wheezy.
What is it?
It's the worst rating in WikiFeet history. I mean, we're talking Shaq has like a 2.8. Melissa Mullins has a 1-star rating. Put the house on Bia Mesquita. She is going to run right through Melissa Mullins in her ugly feet. A 1-star rating.
All roads lead to fading Melissa Mullins here, dude.
I mean, she's got to have some. I mean, to get 1 star, something's got to be seriously wrong, because they give you a 3 just for putting your name on the website.
Dude, if Shaq is doubling you up in foot scores, I don't think you can win anything ever in your life ever again. Like a pie eating contest, a crochet competition, even just completing a puzzle or winning a Sudoku puzzle. Yeah, you're never winning again. 1
star. No wonder she lost to Daria Zelnikova. I mean, her fight IQ is 1 star too. I mean,
yeah, it is
1 star fight IQ, 1 star feet. I mean, Melissa Mullins, she's gonna get ran over here. So maybe I might lay minus 280 on the finish. I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that. I'm still not doing that.
I think I might.
a 1-star rating, really? That's incredible. Oh my gosh.
I mean, when I saw her get swept by Nora Cornhole with not like a technical move, just like a brute force, I was just like, oh God, she's got a 0% chance of winning this fight.
Yeah, that's crazy. We got Muhammad in the building. What is minus 280 inside the distance is just under 74% implied. I'd argue there's some value there. You're probably right, man. Probably right.
He's probably right.
Oh, Mullins looks like she gets nude and does the protest. Those kind of girls never look good. She does look like one of those girls. That's crazy. What is Mesquita? Yeah, WikiFeet. Yeah, it's crazy. It's night and day. I mean, if this was a line based on WikiFeet, we'd see the biggest favorite in UFC history. I mean, it's absolutely insane. She's got worse than Shaq feet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wild. Under 1.5. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, 1 star is crazy. 1 star is absolutely insane. So yeah, no wonder Bia Mesquita's minus 600.
I mean, I thought it was statistically impossible to be worse than Shaq. I mean, like, he's got literally the ugliest feet on the planet. On the planet. Shaq's big toe looks like the kid from Mask in that Cher movie from the 80s. It's the worst thing that you've ever seen.
Yeah, like even like I think the worst one before that was like Chelsea Chandler. And even Chandler had like a 3, like a low 3, and even that was like
Yeah.
horrible.
And Priscilla's was bad too.
Yeah,
Priscilla wasn't getting much Wiki Feet love either.
yeah. All right. Yeah, I typically stay away from the Wiki Feet men, but you guys can check that out. Probably not good. I mean, it's got to be awful. It's got to be terrible. I mean, if
Got to be bad.
it's got to be very bad.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of very bad, we got Kevin Borjas. He's coming in here and he's taking on Andre Lima. We got Lima, 27 years old, 5'7" with a 67-inch reach. Borjas, 28 years old, 5'5" with a 68-inch reach. We got Lima 1 year younger, 2-inch height advantage and a 1-inch reach disadvantage. Lima 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He got bit by Igor Severino. Got the DQ win there. He beat Mitch Raposa by decision. He beat Felipe dos Santos by decision. Then he submitted Daniel Perez in round number 3. As far as Kevin Borjas, he has a 1-4 in his last 5 fights. Decision loss to Joshua Van. Knockout loss to Alessandro Costa. Decision win against Renato Rodriguez. A decision win against Sumadarji. And then a knockout loss to Emmanuel Rodriguez. So I believe that Lima, let's see, is he still the biggest favorite on the card? It looks like Andre Lima is going to be the tied with the biggest favorite on the card. So he's minus 600 now. Mesquita's minus 600. And yeah, I'm just not high on Kevin Borjas. Borjas is one of these, he's a flyweight who just relies on big moments. He relies on knocking you out. And it's not too often we're seeing knockouts in the flyweight division unless Matt Schnell's in the fight or Malcolm Gordon. So he's going to have a tough time winning a lot of fights. Can be low volume at times. His cardio stinks. His ground game stinks. His durability kind of questionable. He's been finished, I think, 3 times at the UFC at this point. So, yeah, I mean, Lima should get it done. You know, Lima, for me personally, he's not the type of guy I want to lay minus 600 on. I think he's good. I think he's a good fighter, but he's not some murderous power puncher. He's not some phenomenal submission grappler. He's just good everywhere. And that's good. That's good enough to win a lot of UFC fights. Good cardio, good striking, good wrestling, good grappling, good defensively, good durability. He's a cheater. I mean, this guy cheats a lot. We talk about his opponent Severino cheating and biting him. I mean, this guy Lima will grab the cage, he'll grab the shorts, he'll kick you in the dick, he'll poke your eyes. You got to love that because you're allowed to cheat in the UFC. I mean, I bet this guy's cheating on his wife right now. I bet he's in Vegas. I bet he picked up one of those cards on the sidewalk where you got the 2 for $99 deals. I bet he texted or called one of those numbers, and I bet he has a couple hookers at his hotel room right now just cheating because that's what he does. He's a cheater. So and you don't get punished for that. You know, he'll miss weight and so on and so forth. So yeah, for me it's Andre Lima. He's good. He's good, and he's good enough to beat Borjas for sure. So yeah, Lima for me, Weezy.
Dude, Andre Lima is in Vegas right now counting cards. He's wearing those special glasses that let you see what the cards are. He's got like magnets next to the slot machines. He's ordering like steak and lobster and then running out on the bill. I mean, like this guy is he is the most prolific. He actually ruined a guy's career by cheating so much in a fight that he wound up getting bit as a result of cheating, not only showing up 5 pounds heavy for the fight. He grabbed the cage 3 times. He poked him in the eye twice. Like Mitch Raposo got fouled like 4 times by Andre Lima, and Lima was 5 pounds heavy for that fight. And this guy cheats on his taxes.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like he cheats in Scrabble. Like he has extra tiles in his pocket. I mean, like this guy is the worst, but God, is he good at cheating? And he's really good at it, Brady. Like he's listed at 5'7". I think he's 5'5". I think he's lying about his height too. I mean,
he's
like
a lying cheater.
It's just, it won't stop, you know? I think most of these fights on his record never even happened, you know? I don't think there's video evidence of them, but I mean, there's really not much to show here. Lima's probably going to run through Kevin Borjas. He's the real deal. He's got really efficient striking, positive 1.66 distance striking differential, really high level accuracy, doesn't take a lot of damage. He'll just take what you give him at distance striking range, while Borjas is a guy who's absorbing 2.75 more distance strikes per minute than he lands. he's got really poor defense at 50%. But he does have 3 knockdowns, so he does have definitely a better knockdown percentage than most of the division does. Grappling, I think Lima's going to be the better offensive and defensive wrestler here, more capable of winning minutes and moments in the grappling exchanges of this fight. Lima's got a 41% ROI because he's pretty highly touted by the market, and he's been juiced in every single fight. Has not been priced as a pick'em or underdog yet in the UFC. Undefeated, 11-fight win streak, all kinds of momentum. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, high-level minute and moment winner in the kickboxing, and outperforming market expectations regularly. While Kevin Boras has lost 4 of his last 5 fights on a 2-fight losing streak, momentum and career trajectory and recency bias all headed in the wrong direction. 8-2 to the knockout, 0-1 to the sub, decent minute winner, 2-2 to the decision. He's been priced as an underdog in all 5 of his last 5 fights. He only cashed once, so there's a negative 46% ROI. So yeah, I mean, like, you can stop sharing the screen. I think Lima probably either wins this one by decision, or maybe he finds a takedown and finds a submission. But I cashed on the sub prop for Lima at plus 800 against his last opponent Barres. But I this time the bookies are onto it. They know that the guy's actually got a grappling game now too. So yeah, however he wants it, Andre Lima's going to win this fight.
Plus 450 for the sub. Ugh. Oh, God. Yeah. I got the sub at like plus 900 against Perez.
Yeah, I think I got plus 800, and I was super happy with that.
Yeah, and Perez has been subbed like 20 times. So, yeah. These props stink.
They do.
Stink. So, yeah, Lima. The question is, how does he win? I think I lean decision, which is plus 110, but maybe the point deduction at plus 2,000 could be worth a look, because they are kind of cracking down a little bit on these point deductions.
Oh, absolutely. For this fight, for Andre Lima, you gotta bet the point deduction. No question about it.
Yeah, might do that. We got Mikey saying, Brady, off topic, but I just went to my local Burger King and a crackhead just swept the road with a broom in front of my car and said I look like a nice guy and freestyled for me. Is this a sign of money? I think so. It's nice he's sweeping the road. It seems like a nice guy sweeping the road.
That's every day in Chicago for me.
Someone sweeping the road?
Yeah, I mean, well, our streets are just lousy with crackheads. They're all over the place, but they're usually pretty nice.
Nice.
They're usually pretty nice. So, yeah, that's good stuff. I think that is a sign of money.
Yeah. Kevin Boring, Oss. Oh, gosh. Mullins hurt her foot as recently as May 25th. It's like June 15th.
That's not good.
Melissa,
she's gonna hurt her head in this fight.
Let's see. Why? So she hurt her foot like 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks ago. What? And now she's
not good.
Oh, I see it here. What is she doing? She's doing something. Oh God, there's those 1-star fee. Melissa, get those off of there. Get those off of there. She's getting foot massages. Oh, she just got a tattoo. What is she doing? I don't see any foot things, but if so, I mean that's bad.
She might just need the money because remember her last fight got canceled on weigh-in day.
God, let me pull this up. We might lose most of our viewers.
Okay.
Oh God, help us. God help us all. Pull this up. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. No wonder it's 1 stars. Her like toenails are black. Yes. So what does this say? The last 7 days have been testing so close to the fight. My cycle started again. What does that mean? So her period starting? What?
Yeah. Because sometimes ladies, when they're high level athletes, their cycle will stop, and they just won't have a cycle for like months.
Dude, periods are horrible. Remember Laura Procopio?
Yes.
I thought she was gonna run through. I forget who it was, but she came out after the fight and she was like, "Yeah, I was on my period." Melissa Mullen, she's on her period. She hurt her foot on Monday doing a 5x5 MMA rounds. Tuesday rest and went out for a family meal. Okay. Yeah, so she hurt her foot. That's not good. Sunday open mat, she smashed her eye socket, shooting in on a low attempt on a teammate's knee. What?
my
so
God,
let's get
what?
this straight.
She's already making excuses before the fight.
Let's get this straight. She's a 1-star feet rating. Her feet are hideous. She's on her period.
Yeah.
And she's on her period for the first time in the last 3 months, so it's probably heavy. It's probably brutal. She hurt her foot. She hurt her eye. She probably has like chlamydia. I mean, this is bad, Wheezy. Everything for Melissa Mullins going wrong. Maybe minus 600 is short.
What is a solo PB on boxed front squat?
Probably some type of lift.
And got super ill.
She got an illness, Wheezy. She's an illness. What is this? No wonder Mosquito's minus 300 to finish the fight. This is bad, man. This is horrible.
We're gonna be parlaying that finish prop by the end of the week, dude.
I know, dude. Melissa Mullins gonna show up with an eye patch, a cast on her foot,
peg leg,
a tampon hanging out. Like,
oh god,
gosh, what the heck is going on? Yeah, I agree. Melissa, hot mess.
Mullins, yeah.
This is a hot mess, man. That's a hot mess. Let's get these feet off the screen. That is just brutal. That is just brutal. So where were we? Lima should get it done.
Yeah.
600.
Yeah.
There. Let's move on to the next fight. All right. We have Melsik Bagdasaryan going against Murtazali Magomedov. We got Bagdasaryan, 34 years old, 5'9" with a 70-inch reach. Magomedov, 26 years old, 5'9" with a 70-inch reach. Magomedov, 8 years younger, same height, same reach. Bagdasaryan, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. We got Colin Anglin, knockout win. Bruno Souza, decision win. Josh Kulabau, submission loss. Tucker Lutz, decision win. And then Gene Silva with a knockout loss. As far as Magomedov, he didn't make his debut. He's making his debut, but he fought on the Contender Series and got a first-round knockout. Looked really good there. So, yeah, I'll be honest. So I taped the fight, and I'm like, yeah, this guy, Magomedov, he's going to be a really big favorite. I thought he'd probably be like minus 500 or wider, and he actually opened up minus 500, but he's like minus 300. And they're kind of surprised because he has the OV at the end of his name. Mm-hmm. He's undefeated. And he's a finisher. He's finished all of his wins. He has 5 submissions. He has 5 knockouts. He's good everywhere. I'm like, he's only minus 300. I thought people would love this guy. The only knock on Magomedov, a couple knocks. The competition, not the best. Level competition, not great. But he is kind of hittable. I've seen him hurt. I've seen him dropped. And that's going to be a problem here potentially against Bagdasaryan, who is a sniper early on in the fight. But if you're Magomedov here, like, you're grappling, like, you're taking down Bagdasaryan, who's awful on the mat. Like, remember what Josh Kulabau did to Bagdasaryan? There was a scramble. Kulabau took his back and choked him out all in the span of like 10 seconds. It was a very bad look for Bagdasaryan. And on top of that, me and Clint were talking about it a little bit, Weezy. This guy Bagdasaryan's been pulling out of fights left and right. He pulled out of like 8 fights these last couple of years. He's dealing with a ton of injuries. And I was checking his Instagram, and it's like, there's no training footage whatsoever. And the last video he has of training footage, he's training at like, it looked like the outside of like a house. It's like, is this guy even at a gym? Like, where's this guy even training at, Bagdasaryan? I don't know. So yeah, for me, it's Magomedov. It's always tough though, laying minus 300 on a guy making his debut, who hasn't really fought the best competition, who can be there to be hit. But yeah, he has the tools to look like a big favorite in hindsight if he grapples here. But Bagdasaryan early, he's good. He has really hard kicks, a lot of power. What I don't mind here is like an under, because this guy Magomedov, 100% finish rate in all of his wins. Bagdasaryan, when he's losing, he's typically losing inside the distance. Kulabau subbed him. Silva knocked him out. And I kind of think if Bagdasaryan wins this fight, he's going to probably have to catch Magomedov early on in the fight when Bagdasaryan's fresh and at his best. So I think I would take an under, if anything, in this fight. The line's kind of spooking me, though. Because last time I checked, we had Magomed minus 300. I thought he'd be a bigger favorite because I didn't think a lot of people liked Melsick. I think Melsick's kind of mid at that. So, were you able to tape this guy Magomedov? And if so, what'd you think about him? And by the way, we got Jake with the 49.99 sponsoring the show. We got Jake with the dono. We got D with the dono. Thank you guys both so much. And Jake says, had one of my best nights betting last night and made 15K. There you go.
Awesome.
Had to stop by and thank you guys for one of the funniest, most entertaining MMA show on YouTube. Appreciate you guys in your vid. Hey, appreciate that, Jake. 15K is incredible. Freaking enjoy it. Thank you so much for the dono, my guy. That's awesome to hear. Love stuff like that. So yeah, we were able to tape this guy, and if so, what'd you think of the guy?
Yeah, I got to tape. I think I watched each of his last 5 or 6 fights, and I was impressed by Magomedov because he's well rounded. He's a finisher. He's finished all 10 of his wins inside the distance. He's got 5 knockouts. He's got 5 submissions. He's a solid striker. It doesn't look like he's going to be like a big minute winner, but he finds some big moments on the feet, and he's also got the ability to be able to grapple, whether he's stuffing takedowns or, getting into top position with his anti-grappling or initiating grappling exchanges and finding his way to dominant positions. This guy can finish you on the mat. He can finish you on the feet. He finds moments. He's not going to be the best minute winner at this level, but he's still only 26 years old, coming out of Kyrgyzstan and fighting in Octagon, not the Eastern European Octagon, but the Kazakhstani, the Central Asian promotion Octagon. So he's fighting some decent guys. He's fighting these tough guys from Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, like that kind of stuff from that region there in Central Asia. And he's finding some flash knockouts in certain situations. He can find submissions from his back. He can find submissions from dominant positions. So I think that he should be able to win this fight because I still can't believe that Melsick Bagdasaryan has 3 UFC wins.
Yeah, against bums though. I mean,
horrible. Yeah, their combined UFC records are 1 win and 7 losses. The guys that he's beaten, and I mean, like you might as well put these guys on milk cartons. Colin Anglin, where the hell is he? Bruno Sosa, remember him?
Oh, that guy was the worst, dude.
I remember, dude. His fights were awful. Like he's one of the only guys that's had worse fights than Bagdasaryan. And then Tucker Lutz. I think that dude's like mowing lawns somewhere in Maryland right now. Oh. So I just don't know what's going on there. I mean, like those wins are terrible. He's got 1 fight in the last 3 years, and it was against Gene Silva. Yeah. So of course he lost. But the fight before that, he beats Tucker Lutz by decision. I don't know, man. Like I think Murtazali is going to run through this dude. Melsick's just not really a real fighter anymore. He can't stay healthy. 1 fight in the last 3 years. No grappling upside. Very little minute winning upside because he's not a high volume striker, and because he throws 100% power into all of his kicks, he slows down in the second half of fights. So. Yeah. He really is like a specialist that's first round KO or bust. And I don't think that's going to work against Murtazali. But I have seen Murtazali get dropped on the regional scene by worse kickboxers than Melsick. So Melsick is going to be live to catch a body here early. But I think Magomedov is going to milk him.
Yeah, that's why I kind of like the under because, I think that covers Melsick's win condition, which is a first round KO. And then I'm kind of seeing it the same way. Like I think he runs through Melsick, quite frankly. So yeah, I kind of think the line could even be short at minus 300, which is crazy. But and then we actually have playable lines on like the fight doesn't go is only minus 190. Although it's a featherweight fight, which is always terrifying playing violence in featherweight fights.
It is.
But even like Magomedov inside the distance minus 110, like I don't hate that. I mean, this guy's finished all of his wins. Like why can't he finish? Melsick Bagdasaryan who. Like, is he even training? Like, is he even at a gym? I don't know. He hasn't fought, and he's like you said, 1 fight in the last couple of years. It's
3 years.
Is he even taking this serious anymore? I don't know.
Yeah, like he fought like in July of 2023 was his last fight before the Silva fight, and then he's supposed to fight a couple months ago. That fight gets canceled. Yeah, this guy can't make it to the octagon, man.
Yeah. It's funny, like, so this guy Magomedov has 5 subs, 5 knockouts. They priced the KO at plus 270. They priced the submission at plus 270. They're making you pick. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be either. It could be either. I lean sub just because he should be grappling here. I mean, you should be grappling Melsick, but yeah, it could be a KO too. It could be a KO too for sure. Melsick just got knocked out. And yeah, I can't forget when Bogdasari was looking up the ref when Gene Silva knocked him down, like you're gonna stop the fight. That was weird. He was like looking up, like you're gonna stop it, man.
Yeah.
Oh, Ewing Bosch right as a banger. It was supposed to be on this card. They moved it to 329, so we'll be talking about that fight in a couple weeks. Magomedov 100% finish rate is a great milking of the weak candidate. I don't mind it. Magomedov's on that Orobai mammoth meat diet. If he's on the same diet as Orobai, maybe we should be taking that inside the distance prop at a pick'em.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the next fight. It is going to be. Is it Rosa Santos? Is this the next one?
No, I think it's Fili Oliveira. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter what order we go in. We just don't want to skip one.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So yeah, Andre Fili going against Vinicius Oliveira. We got Fili, 35 years old, 5'11" with a 74-inch reach. Oliveira, 30 years old, 5'9" with a 70-inch reach. Oliveira, 5 years younger. Fili with a 2-inch height advantage and a 4-inch reach advantage. Fili is 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Knockout loss to Dan Ige. Decision win against Cub Swanson. Submission loss to Mel Costa. Decision win against Christian Rodriguez. A decision loss to Jose Delgado. As far as Vinicius Oliveira, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Knockout win against Bernardo Sopai. Decision win against Ricky Simone. Decision win against Saider Magomedov. Decision win against Kyler Phillips. And a submission loss to Batista. So yeah, Oliveira's coming up a weight class, and rightfully so. That performance he had against Batista was pathetic. He gassed out in 2 minutes in a 5-round fight. And then after the fight, he came out and said, yeah, I cut 60 pounds during fight week. I was like, what are you talking about, dude? What? He's like, yeah, I cut 60 pounds during fight week. I was like, geez, no wonder it's going to affect your performance. I mean, Oliveira looked bad. He was gassed out. Like I swear, 2 minutes in, it was crazy. So he's coming up a weight class. And yeah, if Oliveira shows up and he looks like he did in the Phillips fight, the Nurmagomedov fight, the Simone fight, I think he'll be fine here. I've always been skeptical of Vinicius Oliveira, but he's a good fighter. I think his takedown defense has looked a lot better lately besides the Batista fight where he cut all that weight. And then his style is like a great fun style where he's, all action. It looks like he doesn't have the best cardio. Like he looks tired, even like early on in the fight, but he's one of those guys that just pushes through it and he's not going to stop and he's not going to stop throwing big shots. And he's very active on the feet. So, yeah, I think Oliveira, should be fine here. But Andre Fili is one of these guys, just a wily veteran. Like Andre Fili went out there, and I'm not convinced he lost to Jose Delgado. Like I had Jose Delgado there. That was a very, very close fight. Like you could have given that to Andre Fili. So, yeah, I mean, Fili's a guy I don't really want to count out completely. So I'm not laying minus 200 or whatever he is on Oliveira because I'm still not sure about this guy. He's coming up a weight class. What do you think? Do you think Andre Fili's live? What do you think about this fight?
It's a tricky question because he's on short notice here. I don't like that against a guy like Oliveira because you know what he is. He's a marauder.
Oh yeah.
I mean, never takes a backward step, never raises his hands. Like this guy, like he looks like he's carrying 25-pound weights in each hand. Like he can't even get his hands up above his waist at any point unless he's throwing punches.
True.
So he's eventually going to get knocked out at this level, but I don't know if Fili's the guy to do it. Like we've seen Fili fight those kind of fights where he's had fights against guys like Cub Swanson, Christian Rodriguez, Delgado. Those guys are big pressure guys. Same thing with Ige. Fili's, I've got him ranked number 11 out of 97 in my strength of schedule rankings, and I've got Vinicius ranked number 15. But Fili's going to be 2 inches taller. He's going to have a 4-inch reach advantage, and this is the reason that Vinicius was fighting at bantamweight his whole career. He liked being a weight bully. He's not going to be able to do that anymore, but I don't necessarily think that it matters because Vinicius is just all offense. He's pretty durable. He's very dangerous at distance striking range, and he's got solid anti-grappling. He can, you might take him down, but it's going to be very difficult to hold him down for extended stretches unless, of course, you're Mario Batista, and, Vinicius has one of the worst performances of his career. But let's not put Mario Batista in the same, breath as Andre Fili when it comes to his ability to be able to push a pace and grapple. So, yeah, I like Vinicius here. I think he's going to land the bigger shots. We've seen Andre Fili get finished in 6 of his 12 losses, and Vinicius Oliveira's finished 18 of his 23 wins. So even though at the UFC level, Vinicius has only finished one of his wins, and it came in the last 30 seconds, I feel like he's going to finish Andre. It's not like, Andre, that was weird when he tapped to that guillotine against Mel Costa. The fact that he didn't get finished by Delgado shows that he's a really dangerous guy that can still continue to push through tough situations. But, Dan Ige has knocked him out. We've seen him get finished 6 times at the UFC level, 7 times as a professional. So I think that now that Vinicius Oliveira is moving up a weight class, if he handles that weight cut responsibly and like a professional, he's going to be a little bit more likely to be able to find these finishes, because I think he's depleting himself so much that it's stripping some of his power, that maybe we might see a little bit more power up here at 145. And this guy tries to kill you with everything that he throws. So I don't see why we shouldn't be expecting a finish in this spot.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. It's like I've already lost so much money on violence props for this guy, because on paper this is a violent guy. Like Oliveira should be under, but yet, he's going to decision in a lot of these fights. So I don't know. And then we're not getting like great price. Like it's a featherweight fight. The fight doesn't go as a pick 'em, -115. Oliveira inside the distance at +150. I don't know.
And the decision prop is +190. So the decision prop is cheaper than the inside the distance prop, but 3 of Oliveira's 4 fights are wins by decision, and only one of them is a finish. And like we said, that was against a guy who was completely gassed. So we haven't really figured out if Oliveira is a finisher at this level right now. But what I know is my model is telling me that the decision is a much better priced bet here at +190, according to the available metrics. In a 16-fight sample size, Brady, my model has that as a trifecta bet at +190, something that you really don't see very often just because of the props have so much more juice in them. So +190 for Vinicius decision is actually a really interesting number this week.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, this guy's a freaking. He should be going under in every single fight. Like, why are these fights going the distance? It makes no sense to me. So, yeah, maybe this is the fight it finishes. But yeah, I don't know. Oliveira -240, Andre Fili +205, over under set at 2.5, over 2.5 -134, under 2.5 +114. I think Vinicius should get it done as long as he doesn't cut like 50 pounds. And
Yeah,
and that was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Bovada had the fight listed on the card. Still cruel. That is cruel. And yeah, so Tapology had that fight on the card too a couple days ago. So I ended up taping it. I taped the fight because I completely forgot that, yeah, it did get moved to 329. So I taped the fight. I'm like, oh yeah, I did remember seeing that on Twitter. So yeah, either way, it's gonna be a phenomenal fight when we get to talk about it. This is a weird fight. Fili lock dog. I don't trust either. I really don't either. Like even Andre Fili, like I don't trust Fili. Like you mentioned that submission loss that he had against Mel Costa. I mean, that was very, very suspicious. Very suspicious. Don't bet on the guy who just said he cut 40 pounds in his last fight to be professional and the weight cut up 10 pounds. Yeah. Watch him miss weight at like featherweight. Oh gosh. Can't bet this one. Fili too old and Vinicius lost all the hype. I like the overs. Yeah, I think it could go. It's just going to be a sweat. But yeah, I mean, this guy Oliveira has been going over for the most part. 75 likes and counting. 150 is the goal. You think we get 150? I don't know. I was hoping for 100. 150 would be incredible. So yeah, guys, smash the like button for us. We're going to keep moving on to the next fight. And now it is going to be Carol Hosa going against Luana Santos. We got Carol Hosa, 31 years old, 5'5" with a 67-inch reach. Luana Santos, 26 years old, 5'6" with a 68-inch reach. We got Santos 5 years younger, a 1-inch height advantage and a 1-inch reach advantage. We got Carol Hosa 3-2 in her last 5 fights. Decision win against Yana Santos. Decision loss against Irene Aldana. Decision win against Pani Kanzad. A decision loss to Eileen Perez. And a decision win against Nora Cornhole. As far as Luana Santos, 4-1 in her last 5 fights. Decision win against Stephanie Ager. Submission win against Maria Agapova. Decision loss to Casey O'Neill. Submission win against Tanara Lisboa. And then a decision win against Melissa Croden. So this is a very intriguing fight for me because first look, I was like, Carol Hosa at like minus 135. Like that's interesting to me. But I looked into it and I'm like, I don't know. Like I feel like this fight could end up being very close because for one, it's a Carol Hosa fight, Weezy, which means the fight's going the distance. She's been to decision, I think, in every single one of her fights. All of her fights go. I mean, the fight goes to decision should be like minus 600 here and minus 450. So there's probably value on that, to be honest. And a lot of her fights are close. Like she's not really separating herself in a lot of these fights. She's not some good grappler. She did separate herself against Nora Cornhole, and she looked like a big favorite there. But other than that, she's going to close decision. She doesn't have a ton of power on the feet. She has no finishing ability whatsoever, and her fight IQ stinks as well. And what I noticed about Carol Hosa is, when she gets taken down, she's losing that fight more often than not. She's 1-3 in fights where she's given up at least one takedown, and that's kind of what Santos is going to do here. I'm not the biggest fan of Santos. I think her striking is really bad. I think Carol Hosa is going to have a significant advantage in the striking, especially with the volume. I do think Santos might have more power, but Carol Hosa is the much better striker. But Santos is going to look to get this fight down to the ground. She's a judo black belt. I was checking Santos's Instagram. She's doing some work with Nina Drama on the mat, working on that grappling with Nina Drama. So I could potentially see Santos getting a takedown or two here, and that's what it could potentially win the fight. I think this fight has split decision written all over it, Wheezy. It's going to decision. It's going into the hands of the crooked, corrupt judges, and Santos might only need like a takedown or two to potentially steal this fight. So was really struggling to pick a winner here, Wheezy. And then I was like, let me go to WikiFeed. Yeah. Let me go to WikiFeed. This is the first time I incorporated WikiFeed into my capping. I'm like, it's a very, very close fight. Let me go to WikiFeed. Luana Santos, Wheezy, has the best WikiFeed rating in UFC history.
Wow.
In Stat Diggers history. We talked about the worst on this show, Melissa Mullins with a 1. This Luana Santos has the best rating. We're talking better than Alexa Grasso. We're talking better than Aaron Blanchfield, Tracy Cortez. We're talking about the best rating on the roster, Luana Santos. She has a 4.94 WikiFeed rating. And Wheezy, that sealed it for me. I ended up picking Luana Santos for the win. Incredible judo, incredible feet, training with Nina Drama. Everything's adding up to me for Luana Santos win. But I picked her at plus 120. She's no longer plus 120. All the plus money looks like it's drying up. It's approaching a pick'em. And I think a pick'em's about right. I don't really know who's going to win this fight, and I bet the judges probably won't either. It's going to be a split.
Yeah, it probably is. I'm sharing my screen here. We see, Hosa just around 55% implied. But Luana's a lot younger, and she's got a 1-inch height and reach advantage. So you like that, being the younger fighter, the bigger fighter. Carol, big experience advantages overall and at the UFC level. Solid strength of schedule advantage here on the Carol Hosa side. Much better wins at the UFC level and losing to the tougher competition. Distance striking is going to be Carol Hosa. She's extremely high volume, positive 1.42 distance striking differential. But Luana's numbers are good. She's got a positive distance striking differential, high defense at 68.5%, but she's still absorbing 5.25 distance strikes. And I think a lot of those numbers were kind of accrued in the Juliana Miller fight. Luana is going to get beaten up at distance striking range. But like you said, it's an easy fight to cap. Carol has given up 0.67 takedowns per 15 minutes. She's out controlling her opponents at a 2-to-1 ratio, but 70% takedown defense is about average. It's Luana, though, who's out controlling her opponents 48% to 7%, winning 86% of the control time positions in her fights, 85% takedown defense, 47% takedown accuracy. So I favor Santos to win the minutes in the grappling exchanges. So it's going to be a fight that comes down to who is able to control the pace of the fight, who's able to control the location of the fight. And Carol Hosa's got a big strength to schedule advantage. We like that. She's done a good job of outperforming market expectations with a 7-2 record when she's priced as a favorite, and has only 1-2 as an underdog. Luana, though, 32% ROI, but she's been priced as a favorite in each one of her fights. So this is the cheapest price that we've seen her priced at thus far in the UFC, Brady, which indicates that this is definitely a step up in competition for Luana. You could see that Carol's been trading wins and losses. She's due for a loss here. 13-5 to the decision, 6-2 to the finish, but all those decisions are at the UFC level. And a negative 7% ROI over her last 5 UFC fights. But look at the names like Cornhold, Perez, Pani, Irene Aldana, Yana Santos. Much different than what we see for Luana Santos here with, a much better ROI, but Melissa Croden, Tanara Lisboa. She lost to Casey O'Neill, which is the best fighter that she's faced thus far, and then wins over Agapova, Egger. They're low value wins. So, and it's so Santos, who's the younger fighter, coming in with more momentum, having won 4 of her last 5 fights. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons to like the Santos side here. And Carol Hosa has never been the type of person that's, you count on to stuff takedowns when it really matters. So yeah, I could see either one of these ladies having some success here. I'll stop sharing my screen. Yeah, I think that Luana probably gets the nod in the close decision just because she's the more marketable fighter. And I think it's going to be a close decision, and I mean, when you factor in the WikiFeet ratings, it's just hard to lay juice on Carol Hosa here.
Yeah, and it's not like Carol Hosa has an awful rating. It's 3.5. I mean, that's, I'd say, about average, a little bit over.
That's the meaty part of the curve, Brady. If you're a statistician, it's right in the heart of the bell curve there.
Yeah, so it's not just a terrible feat, but I mean, when we're talking about a 4.96, I mean, it's a little bit early for the Stat Diggers, awards at the end of the year. I mean, Luana Santos is probably making the list for
for the
WikiFeet of the year. Last year it was Alexa Grasso.
Yes,
but
there's a new sheriff in town, though. It looks like
there is. And by the way, I'm on the WikiFeet homepage, and they said work has begun on a dedicated hands-focused site. The project will be named WikiHands. The site is still in its early stages of development, but those interested can visit wikihands.com to see its current state. Feedback is welcome. What's wrong with people?
I don't know, man. Is hands a thing even? Like,
I know feet's a thing, but I guess hands are a thing now. People are sick, man.
You got to hand it to WikiFeet, though, for trying to branch out.
I mean, we were talking about doing like a wiki ass, which I think would be popular.
I think it would be very popular.
But they might beat us to it. They're onto the hands now. So
yeah, I mean, we're not going to compete with them when it comes to wikiing anything that's body related.
Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, it's a tough fight to call. Yeah, plus 120. I didn't hate it. Now that's approaching a pick 'em. I think I'm fine with staying away from a fight that probably plays out a pick 'em.
Yeah.
All my betting is based off your WikiFeet stats. Let's get these little piggies to the market. Yeah, I mean, we need to track that. Like, how are these doing? Like, we gotta track it going forward. Splitty City, Luana Santos WikiFeet score sealed the deal for me. That's incredible numbers. It's absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. OnlyFans fade. Yeah, Luana Santos does have an OnlyFans for sure. Does. Brady, what was Grosso's current WikiFeet score? Is it higher than some? I think it's lower. Let's take a look. It's high though. Alexa Grosso's WikiFeet score is 4.9, and Santos is 4.96. So it's very close, but absolutely a respectable score. Amanda Nunez. Let's take a look. I can't imagine it's great. I don't think it'll be bad, but let's take a look. Amanda Nunez is 4.27. Respectable. Very respectable.
Yeah.
Wow. It's actually really good.
Yeah,
Really
pretty good.
All right, so let's move on to the next fight, and it's not going to be Basharat Ewing, but that fight's going to be freaking incredible.
Yeah.
It is going to be Hyder Emil versus Christian Rodriguez. This fight should be fun. We got Hyder Emil, 36 years old, 5'9" with a 70-inch reach. Christian Rodriguez, 27 years old, 5'7" with a 71-inch reach. We got Hyder Emil, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Knocked out Fernie Garcia, knocked out Jung Young Lee, won a decision against William split decision Gomi, lost by knockout to Jose Delgado in like 20 seconds, and then lost to Jamal Emmers by decision. As far as Christian Rodriguez, 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Beat Isaac Algarian by decision, lost to Julian Erosa by submission, beat Austin Bashi by decision, lost to Mel Costa by decision, and Andre Fili by decision. So, yeah, I mean, Christian Rodriguez, I like the guy, but this guy's like cosplaying as a featherweight. I mean, this guy's a bantamweight fighting up at featherweight, and, you know, size matters, and he's undersized in a lot of these matchups. He's undersized in this matchup, and I like Hyder Emil. Like, Hyder Emil is like one of the most exciting fighters in the UFC, but I'm worried about him. He's 36 years old, and it's like he only has 13 fights, but he's taken so much damage each and every time he fights. Like, he takes like 5 years off his life in all of his fights. Like, he's in wars every time he's in there. And I think it might starting to be catching up to him a little bit. I mean, that Emmers fight was really bad. You know, nowadays he's showing up with the double knee sleeves, and he completely gassed out against Emmers. You know, it looked like he was either hurt or sick or both, like, or he was on his period like Melissa Mullen. Something was wrong with Hyder Emil in that fight because he gassed out worse than ever. And he has gassed out before, but I've never seen him gas out that bad. He was stuck on his back for the latter half of the fight. It was just a very, very bad look for Hyder Emil. So I think it's going to be a fun fight, Weezy. It's a Hyder Emil fight. I mean, this guy's always in fun fights. Christian Rodriguez is in a lot of fun fights. I'm looking forward to this one, but I just can't get the image of Hyder Emil out of my head where he's just on his back, just wincing, exhausted, you know, gasping for air in like the second round. So I don't know what to feel about Hyder Emil at this point, but what are your thoughts on this fight?
I mean, both of these guys are pressure fighters. Both of these guys are volume fighters, but Christian Rodriguez is just a much younger version right now. And I think he's the version that's got the better offensive and defensive wrestling. And I think he's the version that's got the better submission grappling. I also think he's the guy with the better conditioning and the better durability here. So, but all those things being said, when I picture this fight taking place, I picture it being a war where both guys are having success. It's just that I feel like everything that's on paper outside of how this plays out in the cage is in favor of the younger, you know, less miles, more durable fighter in Christian Rodriguez. So I like Christian to win here. The question is, how much are you willing to lay juice-wise on a guy who really should be fighting at bantamweight? We all know that. Like, Christian seems to be the only one who doesn't get it, that, like, you know, you have to cut weight. You're in the UFC, dude. I know you don't like doing it, but nobody likes doing it, you know? But it's just something that you can't get away with not doing here. If you don't want to cut weight, go fight in Japan. You'll fight a bunch of guys your size, you know, but that's not how it works here at the UFC level. You've got to cut weight, and Christian's in the wrong weight class here. So I got to pick him to win, but I think that Hyder can give him some problems with the pace and the pressure, but I just think Christian's got the better hardware right now.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm curious to see if like Hyder's going to show with those double knee sleeves again, because I remember I had a bet. I think it was the Gomi fight. I had a bet on Emil, and he showed up with those double knee sleeves. Like, I was like, oh no, but he actually beat Gomi in that fight. So
yeah,
but he's getting old. He's 36. You know, he's already 36 years old. Rodriguez is a lot younger. Rodriguez minus 165. See, I don't love that. You know, when I want to bet Rodriguez, I want to bet him as a dog. You know, this is a guy that I'm looking to bet him as a dog, and he's not a dog here. Minus 165. I don't know if I love that. Hyder Emil's a dog, both on the money line and in general. Hyder Emil's a dog. So I don't know. Minus 165. I don't know. I don't know if I love that. Yeah. But yeah, Hyder Emil looked awful in his last fight. What are you guys liking in this fight here? What's up, Capone? Good to see you in here. I believe it was Capone who called the O'Malley KO2 plus 700 right on the dot. Brought him in on the pre-show. Great call, dude. Great call. Hodder wasn't young to begin with. I'm afraid he might be washed. He looked like something was wrong in the last fight. Emil via dick swinging. He will swing that dick for sure. Icky saying, "Am I late?" Yeah, just a little bit. Christian, that's a good point. Christian only beats young prospects. I mean, he's beaten some incredible fighters. Isaac Dolgarian, say what you want. He's in prison, but Dolgarian's a phenomenal fighter. He beat him. He beat Austin Bashi. Who's the other guy? Oh, he beat Raul Rosas Jr. So he's beat some really good young prospects. Hyder Emil is not that. So, the wash knee sleeves. Yeah, easy. That was a great hit, dude. Great hit. All right, let's keep moving on to the next fight. It is going to be. Oh crap, we're not at the main event yet.
Yeah, not quite.
It is going to be Iwan Kudalaba going against Navajo Sterling. We got Kudalaba, 32 years old, 6'1" with a 75-inch reach. Sterling, 28 years old, 6'4" with a 79-inch reach. Kudalaba, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Decision loss to Philippe Lins. Decision win against Ivan Erzlan. Submission win against Ibo Aslan. A decision loss against Modestas Bukauskas, and a submission win against Umar Sy. As far as Navajo Sterling, he has 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He beat Philip Latu by second round KO on the Contender Series. He took Tokos, Erzlan, and Bellato to decision, won all those, and then he knocked out Bruno Lopez in the second round. Finally got that knockout, which was so annoying, Weezy, because I had Navajo Sterling KO 2-3 against Tuco Tokos. I had Navajo Sterling KO 2-3 at Ivan Erzlan. He knocks out Erzlan. The ref just doesn't stop the fight. I probably had like an under or something in the Bellato fight because why not? And then the one time I didn't bet this guy's knockout prop, he brutally knocks out Lopez 50 different times. Keith Peterson should have been arrested for that stoppage. I went back and watched that fight the other day, and it was such a bad stoppage, and it was hilarious because the commentary was so funny. I think it was DC who said, like, oh, he's done. He's done. He said it like 50 times. He's done. He's done. Stop the fight. And then you hear Dom in the background saying, oh, he's doing a great job. He's letting him fight. They see, I wish he did this for my fight. And
exactly. Yeah.
He went on the whole time. I mean, Lopez was get probably 30 years off the dude's life. Dom's like, yeah, I love this. Let him keep fighting. And DC's like, stop the fight, man. It was hilarious. I don't know, man. Yeah, Sterling. I've been impressed. I've been impressed with Sterling. The takedown defenses look great. He's a good striker, city kickboxing guy. Leg kicks, big for the division, long, rangy, good volume, can mix it up to the body. Really did a really good mix up to the body against Lopez, and then came up top and rocked him, and then got on top and got the finish. Iwan Kudalaba, I'd say he's a madman, but is he anymore? I mean, this guy, Iwan Kudalaba, used to be a freaking madman, but he's toned it down a couple notches. He's still a madman, but I mean, back in the day, like this guy would be, kill or be killed. He'd go out there and give you 3 minutes of hell or gas out. Now he's kind of fighting a lot smarter, a lot more calculated. I lean Sterling here. I guess Kudalaba is probably going to try to wrestle, get this fight down to the ground, but I think that's going to be easier said than done. And then on the feet, it should be Sterling. So yeah, I lean Sterling, but he's like a massive favorite here. And I don't really want to bet the KO because Kudalaba is actually stupid tough. He's been knocked out 3 times in the UFC, but one was a fake knockout against Ankalaev in the first fight. The other was Ankalaev, and then the other was, I think, a knee from Kenny Nzechukwu. So I kind of think it might be Sterling by Sterling by decision, because I still don't think this guy has a ton of power. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this co-main event?
Yeah, basically just echo everything you said. I'm sharing my screen here. And yeah, we got Sterling at 75% implied, Iwan at about 30%. And Sterling, all the measurables advantages here being 4 years younger, 3 inches taller, 4-inch reach advantage. Iwan's a southpaw, though. That helps. A lot of experience advantages here on the Iwan Kudalaba side. Big strength of schedule advantage on the Iwan Kudalaba side. I got him ranked number 14 out of 46 in the division. Well, I got Navajo Sterling literally ranked dead last in the division.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude, number 46. I mean, look at who he's fought. I mean, the guy's combined records are 5 wins and 9 losses. and he's being priced as a massive favorite in all those fights. So it's indicating that they're mismatches. So obviously, Iwan with 16 more fights has got a lot bigger of a distance strike, or a strength of schedule advantage here. But Navajo's looked phenomenal at distance striking range, 47% accuracy, 60% defense, positive 3.91 distance striking differential. He's a lot more defensively sound, a lot more accurate than Iwan. And Iwan hasn't shown a lot of power, actually. Only 2 knockdowns in all of his UFC fights. So I really like Sterling to win the minutes on the feet. And with the grappling, Iwan's a fairly high volume grappler, but he's not an efficient grappler, right? He gets 3.76 takedowns and only allows 0.94, but he's only winning 55% of the control time positions. Like, he should be winning like 75% of the control time positions with that takedown ratio that he's got. And Sterling's very efficient. He's winning 52% of the control time positions, even though he's only attempting about 25% of the takedowns in his fights. So I think it's going to be tough for Kudalaba to win minutes with his grappling against somebody with good takedown defense like Sterling. And then ROI, Iwan positive ROI is an underdog, but a negative 5% ROI over his 20 UFC fights. Navajo's 4-0, but he's been priced very expensive, so it's hard for him to have a high ROI. Iwan could have won his last 4 fights. That Bukauskas fight was very close. He looked great against C. He looked great against Aslan. Got a solid 2-1 decision win over Ivan Erslan. So Kudalaba's bringing some good momentum and career trajectory into this fight. 57% ROI over his last 5 fights, even though he's only went 3-2. So he's been outperforming market expectations pretty well here. So I can stop sharing the screen now, because we know that Sterling is a guy that it has been fighting at a high level. And if you click the BT tab, Brady, on that spreadsheet, you're going to see that it's fucking stupid. Why is Navajo Sterling's inside the distance prop at minus 135 when his decision prop is at plus 265? It doesn't make any sense to me. That decision prop in a very large sample size, another trifecta bet. And I'm not counting on Navajo Sterling to knock this guy out. That's been very durable at the UFC level when he's not even knocking out Ivan Erslan, when he's not even knocking out Tuco Tokos, when he's not even knocking out the other guy that he beat. And Bruno Lopez is one of the least durable guys in the division. So I like Navajo Sterling by decision at plus 265. It makes a lot of sense to me. Kudalaba not a big threat to win a lot of minutes with his grappling, and I don't think he's a big threat to win minutes with his striking either here. So plus 265, Navajo Sterling by decision. I like that quite a bit.
Yeah, I like it too. I like it a lot. Yeah, if there is a finish, it would be like attritional, like Kudalaba blew his load. Because this guy Sterling, he doesn't have power, man. He just doesn't.
Nope, and it's already moved to plus 250 for Navajo Sterling by points, so I just bet it for a full unit. I'm got a full unit on Navajo Sterling by decision. That's going to be my first track bet of the week, because I'm not a big believer in his power. I mean, of course, he could get a knockout. It's the 205-pound division, and Sterling clearly a very talented striker, but I think Iwan might try to clinch him up, might try to grind this one out a little bit, and he's pretty durable too, so I think that's a pretty good spot this week.
Yep, I agree. I like that. Jake likes the dog there in Kudalaba. Yeah, Kudalaba, like we just said, he could be on a 4-fight winning streak if the crooked judges got that Bukauskas fight right.
Grappling upside, strength of schedule upside, experience upside, all on the Kudalaba side.
And he has a cool nickname too.
Yes.
Dom will never forgive Keith Peterson for the fight. No.
Never.
Kudalaba's a good dog pick. Sterling is going to be good in the parlays. This guy went to war with Rodolfo Bellato. Oh, gosh.
Gelato.
Kudalaba fraud checked Umar C. Yeah, Umar C got fraud checked like twice. He got fraud checked by Menefield, and then he got fraud checked by Kudalaba. It was pretty funny. Weezy really liked that. Navajo Sterling and Sharp agreed. I agree. All right, let's move on now to the main event. Before we do so, if you guys have not already, be sure to smash the like button. Let's try to get 100 likes by the time we get out of here. Do you want to shout out the sponsors? We got the Big Brain MMA Discord. Go check out Big Steve in the Discord. The link in the description. Go check out his YouTube. The link's in the description. Go check out Underdog Fantasy. Go use that code DFSBTN. Get yourself $50 free when you play with your first $5 lineup. And they also got bonuses and boost in there as well. All right, main event time. Manel Kape going against Kyoji Horiguchi. We got Kape, 32 years old, 5'5" with a 68-inch reach. Horiguchi, 35 years old, 5'5" with a 66-inch reach. We got Kape 3 years younger, same height, and it's gonna be Kape with a 2-inch reach advantage. Kape is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Decision win against Felipe dos Santos. He had a decision loss to Muhammad Mokaev, a knockout win against Bruno Silva, Amabayev, and Brandon Royval. As far as Horiguchi, 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He made not his debut. He's fought in the UFC prior. I think he went like 7-1 or 8-1. Had a phenomenal record, and then came back and since then went 2-0. Got a win against Tigir Ulanbeka by 3rd round submission, and then he went out there and beat Amir Albazi by decision. So phenomenal fight. I mean, this is a high-level fight. I could see both these guys potentially being champions. I mean, both these guys are really, really good. This is a rematch. These guys fought like I think 9 or 10 years ago. It was a while ago, and Horiguchi won that fight by 3rd round submission. A lot has changed since then. I used to think Kape had a hole in his grappling. Well, he did have a hole in his grappling, years ago. He has since then patched up that hole, and now, if anything, his grappling's actually really good. He's a black belt now. So, yeah, I think this fight's going to take place on the feet, and it's a Manel Kape fight. It's like minute winner versus moment winner. Horiguchi's probably going to be the guy throwing a lot more. Manel Kape's the guy that if he's not having that big moment, he can kind of fall behind in the numbers like he did against Pantoja, Nicolau, Mokaev. But Kape is one of the best minute winner or one of the best moment winners in the flyweight division. Dude has a ton of power. So, yeah, you got to give Kape the finishing equity here. You got to think he's minus 260 for the finish only. Kape's the younger guy, but if he's not having that big moment, I think we have a very, very close fight on our hands. Weezy, what do you think about this very high level and very good main event?
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't even went back and watched that first fight yet, just because it's 9 years ago. It's almost meaningless at this point, in terms of how many fights these guys have had since. And Manel Kape obviously fighting at a much higher level of competition in recent fights. When you look at the last 5 names, Mokaev, Bruno Silva, Almabayev, Royval, compared to Horiguchi, who's fighting, like Sergio Pettis and Zulu and Takahashi and on the regional scene, and then Ulanbekov and Albazi at the UFC level. So, yeah, Manel's younger. He's definitely the much better athlete, more explosive. But, he's not a great minute winner, and it's a 5-round fight. So we're going to have to wait and see how he looks here. I'm just kind of hoping that Manel doesn't become champion, because I think he just kind of holds up the division. He's always a threat to pull out. His fights are cursed. Like his fight, he's had 11 canceled fights at the UFC level, Brady.
Holy
and
crap.
What's crazy is that only 4 of them have been his fault. Kape has had guys pull out against him 7 different times with injuries or weight cut issues or whatever. So, with Manel Kape's fights, you always got to worry about neither one of these guys not making it to the cage. But, Manel is extremely talented. I feel like he's kind of like a Joe Anderson Brito type, like extremely low IQ, but extremely high level, fighter with a lot of weapons and a very, very dangerous fighter. Like I would say, this guy picked the perfect occupation, because there's nobody that's going to pay this dude to do anything but get punched in the face, because I mean, like, yeah, this guy just,
like you say, he could probably F up a cup of coffee, right?
Yes, absolutely. If Manel Kape was staying over at your house and he was like, I'm going to go make coffee for everybody, like, Manel, sit down. I got this, because you'd worry about him literally burning the house down. So he picked the right job. He's doing exactly what he needs to be doing in life because he's very good at it. So, I just want to. I need to look more into Kyoji. I need to look at these current fights, see what kind of level he's fighting at, because this is a big step up in competition. Cop is about as tricky as it gets. One of the things that I don't think Cop really gets enough credit for is his defense. His defense is really good. He doesn't eat a lot of shots. 4 significant strikes absorbed per minute. 57% striking defense, 58% distance striking defense, and Manel's knockdown ratio is 7-0 in the UFC. So he's very hard to win minutes against. He's even harder to win moments against, and he's got excellent takedown defense at 81% and gives up very little time to his opponent's grappling, and he spends 90% of the time striking. So yeah, I think it's probably a Cop spot. I'm just not really a fan of this guy and his style, his low volume, counter heavy style. The fight against Makayev was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. And of course, the Nicolau fight was horrible. The Pantoja fight was horrible. But Cop's been fighting the best guys in the division. So as many bad things as you can say about him, his performances have been really, really good. He takes very little damage. He never finds himself in trouble in his fights, and he's got the ability to be able to finish at any point in the fight.
Yeah. Are they going to let him wear his shoes in there for this fight or no?
No, they don't let you do that anymore, Brady.
Okay, so he opened up minus 275. He's currently minus 160. Cop Horiguchi opened at plus 235, currently plus 140. Over under set at 4.5 rounds. The over 4.5 minus 131. Under 4.5 is plus 111. The total is kind of tricky because it's like I don't think Horiguchi's finishing Cop. I know he did 10 years ago, but it's like, come on, it's not. If anything, Cop would be the one finishing here. If I was to play Cop, I'd probably just take the knockout, to be honest, at I think plus 190. Or Horiguchi by decision at plus 250. That's not bad. If this goes 25, I think it could be close. Fialo liking Cop all day. Going to be a fun fight. It's going to be a very fun fight. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, that's another thing, Weezy. So Cop is a cheater as well. I mean, Cop, he had 2 knockouts. Almabayev was due to eye pokes, and Bruno Silva was due to eye pokes. He had back-to-back eye poke KOs.
Unbelievable. And then he misses weight, and he's definitely a cheater, man.
Yeah, he is. I bet he's cheating on his wife or girlfriend right now in Vegas. Maybe went to a strip club and went to the VIP room, and those are expensive, by the way. So yeah, he's probably paying a lot of money. Get a blowjob. I mean, this guy's disgusting, man. Getting a blowjob by a Vegas stripper. I mean, this guy might have to pull out of a fight due to an STD.
And the strippers are going to be feeling his tits and not the other way around because Manel's voluptuous.
Oh God, yeah.
Might be the first dude to wear a sports bra into the octagon.
Somebody made like an AI picture of him in a sports bra. It was the weirdest thing ever. Cop KO. Yeah, my biggest regret of I think it was last year was not betting Cop by KO against Brandon Royval. It's like Royval was talking all week about, I have concussion issues.
Yeah.
Of course, Cop was going to knock him out, and it was like plus 150. So, and that was a big regret for me last year. I've got Cop by KO as well. Cop should have fought for a title already. I think, he should have. I think the UFC kind of hates him though because he's kind of an idiot. He's kind of an idiot in and outside the cage. Like this guy makes a lot of mistakes in and outside of the cage. Cop by eye stabs. Small cage, but cannot see the Gooch wrestling all 5. Yeah, I don't think he's going to wrestle all 5. Might mix in a takedown or 2. Cop definitely cursed and a juicer. Yeah. Might have to go with the Cop KO round 2. My books don't have prop lines yet. Yeah, hopefully they get him out tomorrow. Tagir nearly died in the weigh-in against Horiguchi. By the way, did you guys see Makai brutally pound out the Lux champion on WoW FC last week? It was brutal. I didn't see that. That's good though. I wonder when Makai was going to come back to the UFC. He's got to be like 20-0 at this point. No, I mean,
yeah, he's somewhere around there, dude. The guy's never lost.
Yeah, let's bring him back to the UFC. I mean, cutting him in the first place was ridiculous. Last time Horiguchi was KO'd was a spinning back fist by Sergio Pettis in Bellator 5 years ago. Plus, he's only been KO'd twice in his entire career. Horiguchi is an underdog of the week at plus 140. Yeah, if his durability holds up, the minutes could be super close here. If not, favor Horiguchi, because sometimes Cop just doesn't do anything. It's weird. We got Big Steve with a $10 dono. Appreciate you, Big Steve. Not only sponsoring the show, but throwing in a dono as well. Big ups to one Big Steve. Go check him out on the Discord. Go check him out on the YouTube as well. Thanks for your donation, Big Steve. I'm going to get myself some McDonald's now. There you go. Oh, I'd take Cop against Van. That'd be an incredible fight. Absolutely incredible fight.
That's going to happen. That one is going to happen eventually.
Yep, you got the flyweight division's thriving right now. We got Pantoja still in the picture. We got Joshua Van, even Tatsuro Taira's only 26 years old. You got Manel Kopp, you got Horiguchi. The flyweight division is you got your guy. I know you're a big fan of Alessandro Costa.
Huge guy, yeah.
you got Matt Schnell. You got all of them, man. We got to bring Malcolm Gordon back. Flyweight division's better than ever. All right. So we went through it. We're at 2 hours and 20 minutes. So we're perfect time. 2 hours and 30 minutes for this card to be perfect. So we have 10 minutes to work with to find the piping of the week and the milking of the week. And we got to get back on track. Because last week you guys fucked up. You guys voted for Ilia Topuria to pipe Justin Gaethje on site.
And that's the only reason I bet on him, Brady.
Exactly.
If they hadn't have picked him for the piping, I would have never had money on that bum top Toro. All he's been doing is ducking Connor because Connor is just going to go bop, 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 bop. And we all know it now. Gaethje showed us the way. Of course, he was ducking Connor. So I blame everybody here. My loss last week of 3.5 units, everybody's fault but mine.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I can't blame them for my loss on the Topuria in the under 2.5 same game.
You should,
because I bet it. I bet it before the show though, so it wouldn't make a ton of sense to blame them. So that was on me. That was definitely on me. So yeah, the piping of the week did not come through. We need to bounce back. The milking of the week, perfection. That's a milking. We love it. But the piping of the week would have been like a Mauricio Hoofy, Mauricio Hoofy piped Michael Chandler on site. Bo Nickel piped Kyle Douglas on site. Cyril Gahn piped Alex Pereira on site. There were Sean O'Malley piped Ayman Zahabi on site.
Yes.
So we need to get back on track with the piping of the week, and we've got some options. So what we'll do is Weezy's going to throw out 2 options. I'll throw 2 options, and you guys are going to vote to see who is going to pipe their opponent on site. So, Weezy, who do you think is going to pipe their opponent on site this week?
I'm going to go with Levon Chokeli to pipe Leon Shabazian on site.
All right, let's do the poll. Who is going to pipe their opponent? I'm going to try to spell it the best as possible. Chokali. Okay. Yeah, I like that. So we got Shokali. I like it. So I'm gonna throw out. Yeah, I'm gonna throw out Murtaz Ali Magomedov. It could be a milking as well, but it could also be a piping. I'll put him out for both categories, to be honest. So give me a Magomedov. You got Chokali, Magomedov. What else are you thinking?
Manel Kopp. It's got to be Manel Kopp. Has got to be one of the options. I mean, the guy pipes people on site for a living. Yeah,
if Manel Kopp's winning, you got to think he's piping on site, which is interesting because he's the favorite, but the over is favored, right? I think.
What do we got?
I think it was minus 130-ish.
Over 4.5, minus 131.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Interesting.
All right, so Carol Hose is not piping shit. Michael Aswell's not typically piping, but could he pipe Bolaños? I don't know. Mesquita, no. Lima, no. Rodriguez, no. Oliveira, maybe. Sterling, maybe. I'll go Oliveira. I'll go Oliveira. I don't feel great about it, but maybe he'll start piping up at this weight class. All right. So there's the poll there. Who is going to pipe their opponent on site? Let's get those votes in. If you're sleeping, wake the hell up. Get those votes in. We need some votes in here. We got Mazzano. Have a good night, fellas. You as well. I think Pantoja subs Van, then Cop slumps Pantoja. You think Cop could be the first one to knock out Pantoja? Yeah, I want to see Pantoja Van kind of play out. I blame Wheezy's smoking jacket when I lose. Oh, Lima is piping. Yeah, he could. And he could milk too. He could pipe, he could milk, he could win by decision. It's one of those. Oliveira to pipe Feely. I could see it. Carol Hosa couldn't pipe a paper bag. She couldn't. She absolutely couldn't. All right, so while they vote, Wheezy, we're going to come up with some milking options for this week. So who do you think is going to milk their opponent on site?
To milking on site, huh? Well, I'll go with the easy one, be a Mosquito.
Dude, I wasn't going to bet that fight because the props are so bad, but are they so bad? I mean,
I don't know.
That post for Melissa Mullins was crazy.
I'm actually thinking about just throwing 5 units on Mosquito and being like, I'm going to win 0.83 units. Like, if Melissa Mullins is making posts like basically saying like, hey guys, there's no chance I'm going to win this fight. I got my menstrual cycle, my ankle's fucked up. I shot in on a takedown and hit somebody's knee. I've got diarrhea, like I think I got Lyme disease, even though I live in England. Like, it's just gotten so bad. There's even acronyms even in there that are clearly negative, but I don't even know what they mean.
Gosh, I gotta have some type of action on Mosquito. I'm gonna find a way. I'm hoping
we gotta do something, dude.
I'm gonna find some type of prop. I'm hoping that something sticks out tomorrow on some.
What's the Lima Mosquito parlay? -277. It's a sure thing.
Oh God. God help us all. Oh goodness gracious. Okay, so like I said, I put Magomedov for a potential pipe. I'm gonna put him for the milking too. I think it could also milk.
Yeah.
Bogdasarian. So what do you think the next option is? Those are 2 phenomenal options, though, to be honest. I don't know if we can top any of those.
I think a potential milking could be Christian Rodriguez, Hyder Emil, because Emil definitely got milked in his last fight.
Mm-hmm.
And Christian Rodriguez took down Mel Costa like 6 times. So I think he's going to probably look to grapple against a guy that in Emil that's never really known for getting takedowns in top times. So that's probably what he does.
Agreed. And I'll throw Aswa out there. I think it's probably like a standing milking, like a volume-ish, just put the pace on Bolaños over the course of the fight type thing. So give me Michael Aswell to get it done. But yeah, I think those first 2 options are phenomenal options. And yeah, Christian Rodriguez, he's a milker, man, but I still have PTSD from whenever I had the 2-3 props for Rodriguez against Bulgarian. It was like, we're talking like plus 3,000 for round 3. Yeah. And Bulgarian's like on empty. He's on E. And Christian Rodriguez somehow, some way didn't finish him. I couldn't believe my
win too.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah,
absolutely crazy. All right, so let's see what we got for the piping of the week. All right. Wow, it's not really close.
Okay.
So in 4th place is Murtazali Magomedov at 10%. And tied in 2nd place, Vinicius Oliveira at 24%. And 2nd place is Levon Chokali at 24%. And then 1st place is Manel Kopp, 42%. Looks like they're going to let him bring the shoes into the cage this weekend, Weezy. Let's go.
There we go. Yeah, I think Kopp's a great option this week. Obviously, the guy is one of the most powerful people in the flyweight division. So he excels at finding those moments.
Manel Kopp to pipe. Kyoji Horiguchi. Gucci on site. There we go. All right, the piping of the week is Manel Kopp to pipe Kyoji Horiguchi on site. You heard it here first. All right, now time for the milking. Let's get the poll in here. All right, so who's going to milk their opponent on site? We said it's going to be Bia Mesquita. It's going to be potentially Murtazali.
You got as well as a potential milking.
Yep, and then Christian Rodriguez, right?
Yeah, I gave Christian Rodriguez as a potential one as well.
Ollie, C-Rod, and then as well. All right, so vote on the milking, and while we do that, Wheezy, let's pull up some Underdog. Do they have anything yet? I haven't checked it.
They do, yeah.
Oh, okay. What do we got?
So they got fight time. They've got significant strikes. Let me look at significant strikes here. As well, 71.5. Holloway. We don't have to worry about Holloway. Kyoji, you know what's an interesting one, man? Kyoji Horiguchi, 66.5 significant strikes. Manel Kopp really slows down the output of his opponents. I don't think Kyoji is going to land 66.5 significant strikes. Lima versus Borjas. Lima's a low volume striker as well. So for him at 58.5, I don't particularly like that.
What's Borjas?
Borjas is at 33.5.
Yeah, he's low volume too, but.
And what's Raposo? Because Raposo's super. They got him at 24.5. I think that's a solid number.
That's not even Raposo's not even showing up for me, and he's so low. That's weird.
Yeah,
it's not even showing up for me.
Yeah, I would go with Andre Lima less than 58.5 significant strikes personally. I think he might wrestle here, and I think he might find a knockout before he gets to that number.
Okay, I'm gonna go with. That's sweet. They already got the freaking Holloway McGregor stuff out. That's
yeah.
Nice. What do they have? Holloway higher than 0.5 KOs. I like it. All right, so let's see. Fight time. I wish they had the freaking fight time for the Chokali fight. They don't.
There's some good spots. I don't mind the over for the Sterling fight. I mean, like, I don't see Sterling or Cutelaba getting a finish in the first 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, I'll go with that. It's just 7.5 minutes. Give me Sterling higher than 7.5 minutes. Jeez.
Yeah, agreed, man. I think that's a really good look.
Yeah, so I like that. I like the Sterling higher on the fight time. All right, let's see what we got for the milking. No way Kyoji gets piped. It's gonna be tough. I mean, Kyoji's no bum, but you know, if Kopp wins, he will be piping. All right, so the milking, it's not even close at all. In fourth place with 0 vote. And first of all, nobody's voting, so shame on you guys. Wake the hell up and vote, please. We only get 11 votes. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, 0 votes, Michael Laswell. 1 vote, Christian Rodriguez. 27%, second place, Magomedov, and then first place is Bia Mesquita at 64%. I like it, dude. I think the line's short, man. I think it's short.
Agreed.
I think it's a short. I think it's not wide enough.
Yep.
To milk. Melissa. No mess. Mullins on site. Milk of the week is Bia Mesquita to milk. Melissa, no mess. Mullins on site. I have a feeling there is going to be a mess once Bia gets done with her.
Yeah, agreed, dude.
Melissa Mullins going to walk out with an eye patch, with the ankle wraps, a cast on her ankle. She's going to be on her period. She's going to be moody. She's gonna miss weight. It's gonna be a mess. I mean, she might not even make it to the fight, quite frankly. And who would blame her? I mean, she's been dealing with. I mean, she ate a knee to the eye during training. It's like nobody would blame her. She pulled out. But there we did it easy. We did everything. 12 fights for this card. I think it's gonna be a solid card. I think next week's gonna be a phenomenal card. Weezy, any final thoughts on tonight's fights? And also, where can the people find you and support you?
Yeah, no real final thoughts. I think it's going to be a fun card, some all action fights, but you can find me on YouTube at Uncle Weezy. You can find me on Rumble at Uncle Weezy. You can find me on X at MMA Weezy, and you can find my probability stats and content package where you see those slides, where you see these stats on oddshopper.com. That's the best way to support my work. If you can't do that, get an Underdog membership here. Use that code DFSBTN. Sign up on Big Steve's Discord, who's been sponsoring this show and keeping it going. So a big shout out to Big Steve for supporting the show. And yeah, you can find me on Odds Shopper. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, leave us a comment down below, and we appreciate you guys watching.
By the way, if we didn't get 100 likes, we're never showing up again.
Yeah, definitely not.
Oh my gosh. Weezy,
What?
Stat Diggers has officially retired.
Oh my God, really?
85 likes.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's brutal, man.
That's
2 hours and 35 minutes. And Brady did 2.5 hours with Clint before this. This is how you treat us?
It's a punch in the dick, I say.
It really is.
Everybody's still like, it's always tough after a big card. Like, nobody gives a shit about Melissa Mullins, Thea Mesquita, like Shane Collins. Who the hell is Shane Collins, man?
Yeah, we're gonna find out on Saturday.
Why is this bum Leon Shabazian getting a contract? Like, really?
Yeah, I mean, they're putting the Georgians on the card. They're putting the Armenians on the card.
Yeah. It's bad. Anyway, all right, guys, smash the like on the way out. Subscribe. I already got my full card breakdown prediction video out. Figured I'd get it out nice and early. I don't see myself having a ton of action on this card, but there's a couple spots sticking out. Probably going to get to something in the Chukeli fight. I'm probably going to be forced to bet something in the Mosquito fight after seeing that Instagram post from Mullins. I'm with Weezy. I like that Sterling decision, maybe like a Sterling round 3 decision. So, yeah, some stuff is sticking out. Be on the lookout for the rest of the content for the week. Be on the lookout for the Fight Companion. And best of luck, everybody, for UFC Vegas 119. We'll talk to you soon. See ya.